do. So, last time, the Dragon's Blade would continue their exploits in the city of Baldur's Gate, spending the first part of your evening within the Devil's Gate, discussing your next move and trash-talking Lord Saxton to the myriad paladins that kept your company. And I will say, just because it's hard for you guys to know out of game, and I want you to know it's having an effect, basically, with that trash-talking you did about Saxton to the paladins' forces that you have will permanently gain one extra their reinforcement rate for the campaign going forward will go up to represent the fact that they've got more paladins dripping and dropping in.
I did that.
Yes.
So and also with the ages ago, Lady Gerhardt tried to convince your prisoners of war that Saxton was a really bad dude and rolled a natural 20. As a result of that, and you wouldn't be able to know this in gameplay, so I want to tell you, all of Saxton's Bedegar forces have a permanent -1 morale for the duration of the campaign.
Yes.
So just thought I'd bring that up.
Slowly contributing to the war effort.
Regardless.
Thank you. I appreciate knowing that
See,
information.
me and Joel has played Dragon Age.
I figured you wouldn't be able
this.
to know it in game, so it's good to tell you and let you know it's actually doing something.
There's a rumor floating out there that he is very,
Back into
very
the
bad.
Recap.
So, prior to following your trash talk of Saxon, in which you revealed his undead nature as well, seemingly convincing several of the paladins to look into joining the war effort, as we just spoke about. During this time, Lady Gerhardt would also commune directly with the Platinum Dragon, finding out several pieces of pertinent information, and experiencing a disconcerting run-in with a shadowy figure. With your next step worked out and the paladins talked to, you hurried along by the information granted by the Platinum Dragon, you decided to visit the Moonstone Maiden and the captain of the Hallowed Hand, to gain the allegiance of the large mercenary company. After traversing the mighty city and experiencing the luxury of the Moonstone Maiden firsthand, you would begin negotiations with the captain of the Hallowed Hand, finding him in a rather compromised position. You would find yourselves unable to pay the asking price, but reluctant to let such a sizable force get away, or much worse, join forces with Saxton. Through your negotiations, he would claim to be in talks with several clients, and on the verge of accepting one. However, through silver tongue and diplomatic skill, you were able to offer a substantial amount of adamantium in exchange for delaying his acceptance of said contract for another 24 hours, giving you time to come up with the rest of the 300,000 golden dragons needed. With negotiations concluded, you would bid farewell to the luxuries of the Moonstone Maiden, making your leave and descending to the ports of Baldur's Gate once more. It was here you would find the scene around you surprisingly empty of life. That is, before a guard approached, asking after Frankie's papers. Seemingly happy with what he saw, all appeared to be well, until Frankie would feel the cold embrace of steel plunged into her stomach, and the being before you would shift and contort into the tiger-man hybrid known as Horus. Incensed by the flagrant assault on your ally, a punishing salvo of damage was sent his way, in the form of many critical hits, causing him to flee before long, bleeding heavily from many grievous wounds. However, he would not leave you alone long, for it seemed he was not the only hunter out for blood this evening, as oceanic nightmares rose from the depths to do battle with you, including the grotesque, shambling form of what remained of the paladin Delos. Though already weary from the day's battle, the Dragon's Blade would swing into action, dispatching many foes with might, both martial and arcane. However, as the battle drew on and wounds only grew, you would spy an island rising from the tides, as, alongside other undersea devils, a dragon turtle would rise from the depths.
No!
And that's where we'll pick up for tonight.
No.
External screaming noises!
Dragon's Blade, beaten and battered from the battle unfolding all around you, you watch as the dragon turtle rises up and out of the river itself, water cascading off its colossal shell, and one remaining eye fixed on you with bestial frenzy. Even as this colossus rises from the sea, you spy the chitinous forms of two other monsters clamoring to the docks around you, or what remains of the docks after the crashing waves of the dragon turtle's arrival. You see these other creatures like a horrible mix of crustacean, insect, and serpent with 4 long legs and 2 huge crushing pincers with dozens of beady black eyes focused wholly on you. With a roar that echoes out through the city and reverberates through your bodies, you find your attention back on the dragon turtle as it rises forth from the waves. Rearing its head back, you see burning hot steam radiate out from its nose and mouth before it brings its head down toward you all once more and lets the burning hot steam loose in a torrent of burning hot vapor. bring you all to the map.
Guys, what's going on?
Answer clear. Is the water both burning and hot?
It is indeed
You're
both.
unconscious.
It is both burning hot and one might say scalding.
Oh, and you. Oh God.
Guys, what's going on? I
And
can't
you were
see
gonna
a
jump. You were
thing.
gonna jump into that.
Oh no!
As the creature lumbers forward and lets out this exhaling breath of the burning hot steam, I would like everyone to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Damn, imagine taking 2
Constitution?
failures in your
Even
fucking
me,
death
even
save.
me on the roof.
What about people? What about people?
Even you up in the air. Wait, how far are you in the air, Ander? How far are you in the air, Ander?
70 feet
70
and
feet,
more.
right? It was 70 feet? Okay, if it's 70 feet, you don't have to make it.
I don't
For
think
Frankie,
it's
you
gonna
do.
matter.
I'll say you get advantage, however, because you're behind cover, being up so high.
Oh wait.
I don't think
27.
it matters. I only have 17.
Yay.
I only have 17 HP, and I don't think it'll kill me outright.
Roll
so,
anyway.
Yeah.
Does
Okay.
does steam count?
Joel, why?
It's a 1.
Oh my god, okay.
Doubles the damage.
Is this magical? Can I call magic resistance?
It's not magical, no.
Breath attack.
Okay, no.
Alright,
Okay.
so as this
Oh, no.
burning hot vapor is expelled out towards you all, and this creature roars its frenzy, shaking the very foundations of the boardwalk you stand upon, reverberating through the city. You continue to hear the bell tolling out behind you, and you begin to hear those shouts and orders of various soldiers. Although those of you conscious, especially you, Frankie, being up so high, and Ander, know that they are painfully too far away to be of much help at this very moment. As Vizzy, you take 63 points of fire damage.
Yikes.
Guy,
Wait,
guys, what's going on? Ah!
As you see,
you can't absorb fire damage, right?
Is it fire damage?
It's fire damage.
I can absorb it. Yeah.
It's like.
All right, so the rest of you,
Screw you, natural one.
Jackie and Evandar, you guys both take 31 points of fire, 32 points of fire damage.
We rounded
So
up.
16 for me.
As the breath cascades down upon you, you see Lady Galeheart sort of stumbling through.
Alright, fire resistance. Neat.
You see Lady Galeheart stumbling through, having been previously blinded, as the burning hot steam smashes down into her. At her back, this orange flare radiates upwards, illuminating the night like one of the myriad torches surrounding you, as the steam seems to almost envelop around her but not touch her flesh, and will flow into the tattoo at the back, absorbing the damage. As Eli, you take a
Oh, no.
death save. You fail
Just
a death
one?
save.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically, I disagree with it, but I'm not going to fuck you over on a whim.
I thought.
Question
I mean,
Do
AoE attacks.
sea elves turn red when they get steamed?
Probably.
Like
This-
blue swimmer crabs.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
I
mean,
thought you only take 2 death saves if it's like a melee hit from like.
Yeah,
5 foot or
if
whatever.
it's a crit,
Yeah.
and AoE attacks can't crit.
Regardless, as the creature now is moved forward onto the boardwalk, smashing down several elements of the pier at the far end and boats aside, having breathed its torrent of burning hot vapor, you go to Eli's turn. Can you roll me a death saving throw, please?
Oh God!
Please.
Don't roll a natural 1.
Imagine.
Don't say that!
It was so close to
Oh
being 20.
no!
That's 1 fail. There's 2 failures.
Close.
Sure
I
is.
know what I'm doing on my turn.
Moving back
Yeah,
to
that's
the
Dying.
top of the initiative step once more, and floating above the chaos of the battle below, you see the scattered guts and remnants of splinters and zombies that rose up out of the deep. Now seeing your companions completely enveloped in the burning steam of this dragon turtle and the other chitinous monsters clamoring forwards as this veritable island rises out of the sea, focused in on your friends. What are you doing?
Oh God! Is it a dragon?
It's a
It's
turtle.
technically.
Fine.
Your time has come!
God. Oh God! I
wonder
shoot
what you
the
should
dragon
shoot at.
turtle.
You shoot at the dragon turtle?
Yeah.
Bang. Shoot its
Yeah.
eye.
Let's shoot normal because it's probably got high AC.
Alright, go for it.
I don't like this.
Net 20! Return of the
Not
crits!
stopping from last week.
With a vengeance!
Okay.
The crit train going, baby.
Alright, with a newfound, well, with the same vigor you engaged in the battle with
Kick its
last weekend
ass,
prior to this
Sander.
very moment, and you found
Kick its
sense of
ass.
almost just being in the zone crosses across all of you with so many crits.
And
hello.
I hate myself because I forgot to hunter's mark him, but whatever.
You would have dropped Hunter's Mark on
You get
Horace if you
sneak
did
attack.
I would have.
Oh right. Oh yeah. Sorry,
That's
it's
right.
been a whole week. I forgot I was keeping that up on Horace for a fucking reason. God damn it. I assume he's not taking any damage, so let's just do my normal roll. I don't think I've got anything checked. No, good. 18.
All right. As floating on high, focusing intently on the battle enveloping bow, you see the two chitinous creatures clamoring to the shore, and this other creature knocking aside everything in its wake to get to your companion. You let loose a shot that pierces directly into the lower portion of its open maw. As it breathes forth this torrential downpour of burning hot vapor, its maw hangs open and your bow goes directly in and down, piercing through the inside of its mouth and out its lower jaw. Seemingly incensed by your strike, the creature immediately, like a puppet's strings being snapped to attention on a particular target, looks up towards you with alarming alacrity as its bestial eyes focus in on you. You feel that you detect a faintest glimmer of recognition
Recognition? What?
as its eyes remain fixed on you.
I got it again.
Oh,
that's 15.
Now focused in on you, you line up the second shot, alarmed by the brief amount of insight you got into this creature's thoughts. You line up the second shot quick, but find as it sails over the creature's head that swiftly ducks back into the waves, it bounces off the shell, cracking against the hard carapace.
Alright, and then I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15, and I'll drop 15. That makes me maths
55 feet.
55, and then I will dash as a bonus action to get to
15 feet.
I don't want to go the full. I don't want to go full movement. I will be. How yeah, I'll
How
be
high
20
off
feet
the
up in the
floor
air.
do you want to be? 20 feet? Alright.
20 feet. Okay.
Alright.
So you're on level with Frankie.
That you're about on level with Frank. Frankie's around that mark, slightly higher than you are. You're sort of skirting the line of that building there.
Hello.
Alright, anything more, Ander?
That's it.
Alright, Ebendar, we come to your turn. What are you gonna do?
Shit. Lay on hands, Eli.
Alright.
For 10. Heal,
And
damn
as
it!
Eli, as you feel this holy energy coursing through you, the platinum light glowing off of Evendar's hands and healing over the more grievous wounds, the crackled flesh still burning with the hot vapor and myriad scars from the previous engagement, you come to consciousness once more. Immediately you find your body awash in burning pain, like every part of your exposed skin burns.
Sorry about
You're
that,
conscious.
but we need you up, right?
And for the first time, Elijah, you notice the colossal dragon turtle leering down upon all of you.
Why?
Evandar, was there anything else you had planned?
Because I'd rather you not die on me. I keep forgetting how that works. Can I bonus action shoot? With
Destroy my boy here.
With the
Bolt Blaster?
bolt blaster? I don't believe so, unless there's any specific rule for it.
Well, in that case, that's my turn.
Roger that. Alright, coming to the crab-like creature's turns as you see them on either side clambering to the shore. Finally, upon the wharf, they each look towards you, their massive pincers cracking together, the size of which they could completely enwrap any of you. As these colossi begin to scuttle forward, their myriad legs clacking against the stone as they charge. This one jumping forth onto the stone and leaping down. As this one comes up, immediately its tendrils on the left-hand side leer down towards the now freshly conscious Elijah. Go ahead and make me an athletics or acrobatics check, Elijah.
Damn it.
All right. As you find these tendrils exploding from the creature's mouth and in wrapping around you, you feel yourself pulled upwards slightly off the floor as the two pincers come crashing down. Immediately, one grabs you right around the neck, and you feel the pressure begin to build as it constricts your airflow. You take.
More than 10?
We're about to find out.
Under 10.
Stop dying, Eli. I need you.
Under 10.
You take exactly 10 points of damage.
God damn it, you
I
guys.
tried.
I have a reaction. It's been my turn.
Oh my god, he does.
5.
As the crashing pincers come down onto your neck with a faint motion of your hands and muttered prayer, you, especially Evandar, see this rushing water emerging up from the ocean and the cracked wharf all around you as it goes up in Elijah's sides, almost conforming to him and flooding into the portions surrounding his neck and barely, just barely keeping the pincer off of his throat and crushing his airways completely as the water floods through and pushes back at the claws. And you only
It
take 5
almost
points,
turned-
staying conscious.
It almost turned his life switch off.
Stop
With
dying.
with the other too far away, he's going to do a dash and close the distance, scuttling in behind you, Evandar's claws cracking and ready to pounce. Frankie.
I just need to mention one thing that I completely forgot about. Because of my favored enemy, I get an additional +4 damage to my hit against the dragon turtle.
Roger that.
Not that it's gonna make a big difference.
It's been written down. All right, Frankie, it is your turn. As standing atop the building, seeing a streak of blood going across the building behind you, fading away into the darkness, and a complete chaos unfolding on the wharf down before you, barely looking like a dockyard anymore, instead just a absolute mess of broken boards, splinters, and ships sinking to the bottom of the bay, with this colossus drawing ever closer to your companions. What are you doing?
First things first. Frankie's going to activate Ben Magic as she pulls out the time stop scroll she was given by the party.
Oh me, oh my.
And she's going
Time
to
stop.
activate it while using her meta magic to extend the duration.
All right, so go ahead and roll 1d4 plus 1 for me.
I'll just.
Go on, get the D4.
Roll
Get the
it.
D4.
2.
Ah!
Ooh,
So you
could
could.
I use Tides of Chaos to reroll that?
Does Tides of Chaos let you reroll any dice?
I think it just gives you advantage.
Yeah, so not with this one, but remember what we said about the extend magic. You can spend 2 points of 2 sorcery points to bump it up.
Alright.
So you could
I'll
spend
do
6
that.
sorcery points to get to max. Are you going
Oh,
to do
thank
that?
God I just had that. This turtle's going down.
Right, so you're doing that. Go ahead and roll me a d12, please. And for this one, a 7 or less will trigger it because you just spent 6 sorcery points.
Oh god.
But
Well,
it,
here we
it'll,
go.
it'll be a good.
But it'll be good.
But all magical abilities will cost a surge, but they'll all be. No, that's
All
technically
magical abilities within a certain a certain range of Frankie will make her roll to see if she gets wild magic. But if she does, it can only be positive for her.
As soon as the wild surge occurs, you snap out of it, and bending magic's over.
Yes.
Cool.
Well, she rolled lower than a
So-
7.
As you channel forth the energy of this scroll, feeling this high level magic enveloping through you, trying to mutter out the words of the spell, you feel yourself falter faintly, having not the power within you to fully manifest this ability. You open up the wellspring of arcane potential inside of you and let it fuel your power in this, fuel your arcane might to get the full extent out of this. Yet, as you do, you begin to mutter out the incantation of the spell and the scroll fades away, the magic overtaking you. You feel the wellspring within burning up and losing control. Go ahead and roll me a d20 followed by a d100. Remember, everyone, 1 to 5 bad, 5 to 15 good, 15 and
Actually,
up. 5 to
actually,
15
Cypher.
neutral.
Oh,
It's good.
It doesn't
bend magic-
matter, but Cypher, since you gave me the level 14 ability early for my previous class, I still have it. So I can only get bad outcomes if I natural 1.
Ooh. Anyway, that is a good one.
I thought Ben Magic automatically made it good.
Mm-mm.
And you
Ben
said
Magic.
you
Ben
should
Magic
shoot.
takes place after a surge, so she did it
Oh.
slightly out of order, but it will
Oh,
take place
after you
now.
make a surge check. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, my bad.
So so you've got a good roll here. That basically means whatever result you get is going to be good. Go ahead and roll me a D100, please.
You're rolling on the good table.
Oh, you were so
It's
close to
almost-
greatness.
Almost the key number.
Could have been perfect.
Aw.
All right. As you feel this wellspring of arcane force taking over you, you feel the absolute, sheer, unbridled potential taking over you. You feel this frenzy building within you, this sheer focus, this cold, this laser precision in your mind as everything unwraps before you, as every little thing becomes something to focus on, to bend all your arcane might to, something you can't fail, and something that you harden, and you sap away all emotion in the briefest moment. And you gain, as this magical energy radiates out around you, you gain the frightful presence ability. So everyone within 30 feet of you, enemy, has to roll at the start of their turn, if they're within 30 feet of you, they have to roll a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC, or else they'll be frightened of you.
Oh, this will be a quick way to end the fight.
Just
Good thing we have a lot of time
Mine is
now.
frozen for. I maxed it. So how many turns was it, Cypher?
Or what?
Time stop.
Time stop, you get, if you've maxed it out, you get 5 turns worth.
Yay.
So half a
Hey
minute.
guys,
just for
I'll be
Yeah, time stop
BRB.
is just for her.
So
Did you
do
say
I
you need
just
to
She
keep
says
going?
that after the time stop, so nobody hears it.
Alright, so you basically get 5 free turns right now. As the rest of you see this arcane force taking over you, this almost ethereal darkness surrounding her as this arcane force builds up, and she begins to move with incredible speed, moving faster than the eye can see in a flash. So
You
you
know
have
what?
5 turns.
To maximize my turnage, since I gotta get to the turtle this turn, I'll use a bonus action.
Ooh.
First, I'm gonna cast my freebie Sanctuary on Eli.
Alright.
I know he won't be in danger for 4 turns, but I have to dimension door over into the
Alright.
turtle's mouth.
Sanctuary is a concentration spell. I'm
Uh-huh.
sure.
As focusing your
So-
arcane might, in this brief flash, this darkness surrounds Frankie. In this brief flash, you see the still open maw of the turtle. Suddenly, Frankie's gone in a flash, and in the instant she appears in the creature's still open maw, moving with such speed that even though the maw is closing, she still has time.
Sweet
What are you doing?
dreams
As
of
you've landed on the
little bee.
lower jaw of this creature.
For the go.
Oh, here's the D12.
Alright, that's the next one.
Doesn't
Oh,
it become
Alright,
a
so-
D10?
Go it. Yeah, it's a
First-
D8. It's a D10 now, yes. And go ahead and roll one more for the sanctuary. Yeah. Oh wait, no, that's your holy thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, not for that one.
Oh, it's a D10. Oh.
It's a
Oh, you're
D10
right,
now
it
because it
goes down.
cascades down. Yeah. All right. So now that you've teleported through, that I believe is one of your turns. You have 4 more to go.
How far can I see down this turtle's throat?
Not
16
terribly
feet.
far. I'd say about, let's say, 15 feet. As it sort of bends downwards and goes down into the creature's stomach.
Does it look safe for me to get closer to look farther down inside of it?
I mean, you're in a dragon turtle's mouth, so safety is relative. But you
I
look like
mean,
it would
that
be
thing's
possible.
moving though, right?
It's moving. It's just moving slowly. But it certainly looks possible.
Well, I'm gonna.
All right, as you
I'll
begin to
use my-
clamber forward through this creature's mouth, taking special attention not to slip on any of the saliva or still burning vaporous pores within. And as you make your way to the back of this creature's mouth, looking down into the throat and looking down into where the cavities reach, what are you doing?
Gonna
Good answer.
cast fireball down. How far can I see down, by the way? I want to
Pretty
get.
far. You definitely feel like any fireball you cast now is going to hit something Dragon Turtle won't
Squishy.
want hit.
Good. Good. This is good.
Oh my goodness.
That actually that's 35
35,
because that one.
yeah.
Go ahead and
becomes
do.
02.
If you're going to just keep doing it, go ahead and do all of them at once. We'll resolve it all at the end.
Okay, wait. So that's.
This is
how
your
many
second
turns do I
turn?
have left?
You have 3 more
Okay.
turns.
Okay.
Can I just say this is like the coolest shit ever?
Fucking genius.
Just like a kill cam, just. Fucking hell!
That's a 4.
24 and the 4. So another 28.
You have 2 more. We'll do the maths afterwards. Just if you're gonna just do fireballs,
more
just do
turns?
fireballs. Yeah, it's 2 more. So if you're gonna just do fireballs,
Well,
just do fireballs.
there's only one more fireball.
Keep in mind you gotta get
You
out.
need to get out.
Isn't-
It's like you
Yeah,
do all
bounce
fireballs.
away.
Wait, shit! I was about to get out.
23,
You know
another
what?
30.
And then I'm just gonna dimension door back.
All right.
We're not
As,
done
before you
where I
dimension
originally was.
door out, go ahead and roll me 3d10, please.
Oh,
roll,
right,
no, roll a d.
fuck.
No, you have to roll them individually.
Yes, roll them individually.
Okay.
Oh no.
No.
Go ahead and roll me a.
Nani? Nani? That's all surges.
You got 3 wild magic surges.
Oh
Oh
god.
no.
Wait,
What's the-
Oh, the first one's bad. All right, got
Second
another
one's
d20.
good.
Yeah, it
Second
is.
one's good, and third
Third
one's
one's
neutral. Yeah.
Wow, we got a
the
full
experience.
bouquet of surges.
Okay, so your
Are
third
you
die is
happy?
now a d4 because you failed so many. But okay, so as you focus your energy and teleport into the creature's mouth, running towards the back and focusing fireball after fireball, cascading down with your. Why are you rolling the T1?
Turns into a fucking.
As you launch salvo after salvo of arcane magic through, already feeling the violent surge of arcane might within you from your first spell, as you tap into again and again and again to pump as much damage as you possibly can through its throat and passages illuminated by burning arcane flame. You feel this electric charge spread through your body. Your hair stands on end as, with this, what you can only channel as a pained gasp before it lets out into this agonized cry as again and again and again the wild magic leaps up and from you. So why are you rolling at D100, Devendar?
I'm not rolling D100s.
Trouble
I was
damage.
calculating
Damage.
damage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my fireball.
Frankie,
there.
Frankie,
There
Go
were not
ahead
a
and-
single die in there.
Frankie, go ahead and roll me the first D100, please. Also, as with what happened against Mother when a explosion went off in her stomach, I'm going to say these are all crits.
Oh
Because
wow.
You've just punched a fireball into this creature's stomach. It's hurt.
It's inspired
first
by
one.
my detonation.
So you just did 206 damage to this creature, which I think we can say is the record in the group for most damage done in a single turn.
Yeah.
It's technically 5.
But because this thing is, immune to fire damage.
as Frankie, with the first roll of
Not
the
if
first
Frankie
wild
does
magic,
it.
you feel, with the electric surge of the wild magic in you, like I said, you feel all your hair beginning to stand on end as the surge goes up and through. Flames begin to cascade out of your hands and across your body as all of your hair falls out.
Frankie, you're balding.
Oh no!
As you feel the very essence of yourself on the outside, the electric charge building through the hair as it begins to simply fall away beneath the flames and arcane surge. With the second roll, as more and more of this arcane power wreaths out of you, you say that was a good one from what I recall.
Yes.
Oh, this is actually surprisingly good.
Oh,
As
God.
as you feel your form almost fading away beneath the upsurge of magic, the hair falling out from you, and you feel your form almost turn incorporeal, untouchable. You can, as a bonus action, turn into a gaseous form and fly 30 and have a movement speed of 30 feet. That's not a joke. That's genuinely what the good option for 56.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So you,
Nice.
you might even not. You
Hey,
might
that means
even-
I can do. That means I can do one more fireball down its mouth.
And not have a dimension door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as your form becomes incorporeal, and the last one was the neutral one. 53.
53.
Okay, interesting. As your
This is the
body
neutral one,
becomes
isn't it?
more and more and more incorporeal, as your arcane surge overwhelms you, you feel, again, like untouchable, untenable, unanchored to this location. You see your body flickering almost in and out of this gaseous state, in and out of existence. As for the next minute, you are under the effects of an uncontrollable blink spell.
Well,
That's good. Fucking hell.
here's my last fireball
Oh god.
And
down his
D4.
throat.
Roll that d4.
roll me a d4, please.
Are you happy, Cypher? I surge.
He doesn't stop surging.
Okay. You shall receive.
Go
Okay,
ahead and roll me-
I'm changing a name. I'm changing a name.
Go ahead and roll me a d20
still
followed by a
neutral.
d100, please.
There we
That's
go.
still funny.
Search
That's a
time,
bad
baby.
one, I think.
It's a bad
Oh,
one.
no,
No,
it's a
that's,
good-
that's,
no,
that's a neutral one.
6.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
A 6.
Surge time, baby.
So go ahead and roll me a
No.
d100. Dude, I wanted you to surge last week, and it seems you're fulfilling my wishes.
39.
59. Oh no. Oh no.
As with this huge evolution of arcane power, this radiating surge that continues to billow up and do various effects, billowing out from all of around you, there is merely a gentle gust of wind. No other effect.
Okay.
I don't like.
As it seems you've
Well-
reached, as it seems at this stage, as you channel forth the last fireball, slamming it down this creature's throat, that all the arcane potential you decided to dredge up from deep within you, that cascaded out and around you, released in these myriad of different forms, has finally begun to fade away.
Well, I'm gonna use my last bonus action to dash over here before it
Alright.
ends. Whee! Now I'm giving Evandar advantage with my weird cloud.
Alright, as you move into your
blinking
gaseous form. Go ahead and roll me a d20, please.
Wait, you can bonus action dash?
Me?
Can you bonus action? Because
I
there's a bonus action to do gaseous form.
Oh right. Well then I'll be 30 feet away. Yeah.
I mean, now it has to do fright
One more
presence,
up.
which is funny.
Go ahead and roll me a d20, please.
One more up. You can go one more up.
Yes.
D20, Frankie.
Hey, look at that. Shit.
Alright.
How much more dice do you want from me?
All of them.
What a clusterfuck this would be
As
IRL.
the rest of you see, in this huge flash of motion, Frankie leaping forwards, throwing these fireballs, and in 6 seconds appearing out onto the wharf, she comes to stand, breathing a sigh of relief,
And then
and then
disappears.
vanishes. Vanishes from sight.
Oh.
Who
That
was this
was the
bald
coolest-
lady standing there for a second? Oh.
That was the coolest shit ever. Go ahead and grab an inspiration for that, as we do a billion, like 250 damage to the dragon turtle.
Hey, you should fuck off. This was my biggest
You mean-
deterrent.
Do you mean 262 damage?
Yes. a fair
Please
bit.
tell me he just explodes like Jaws.
So, as the rest of you see, Frankie, in this surge of arcane alacrity, charge forth into this creature's mouth, throwing fireball after fireball through this wellspring of arcane might, roiling around her, as from the inside of this creature's mouth is illuminated by arcane flashes, both coming from her and afflicting her. As she makes her way back out in this faintly gaseous form before disappearing completely. You see, as we come to your turn, Lady Galahad, the creature immediately having been roaring out in pain as the spell comes to an end, this huge flurry of pain inflicted against it, it roars out blood pooling from its mouth as it starts throwing up blood and almost listing to one side, its features contorted in confusion and rage as it almost begins to list in the sea. Various splotches down in its lower abdomen appear to be bleeding as the explosions tear through flesh, internal organs, and viscera leaking out as blood flows from the creature's mouth.
Except Lady
As-
Gala doesn't see it because she's blind.
Everyone else. Well,
Sorry.
she's blind to the
Just-
start of her turn. So.
I was just like, Guys, what's going on? I feel like I've just missed something quite important. I could really use.
Are we winning?
So as the creature goes down to, less than half its hit points, it's going to activate the Bloody Breath ability.
No.
That's illegal.
As it,
Does it have to do the frightful presence before or after that?
Stranky's not there.
Oh, fuck!
As
Oh,
this
it's a
creature roars
legendary
out in
action.
pain and rage and fury and confusion, as blood drips from its mouth and various wounds across its form, it once again rears its head back, letting out this huge roar of now faintly pink, red, crimson mist that radiates out to you just like it did before. I need everyone to make me another Constitution saving throw.
Oh,
I have
you
advantage.
kidding me?
I have advantage against my favorite enemy.
Good night, sweet prince.
That's an 11.
That's a 19.
28.
It is me. I am the sweet prince.
I don't get any magical resistance, do I?
All
Fucking
right. No,
Frankie
you
just
do not.
couldn't vibe on this reality anymore.
So, you have advantage, Ander?
Yeah, because it's my favorite enemy.
All right, so Ander and Evandar, you take 23 points of fire damage. Everyone else takes 46 points of fire damage.
That's me definitely down now.
What's half of 23?
11. Or 12. Is it rounded up or down?
We rounded it
Down.
down normally.
11. All right. So
Was it
with
43, did you say?
with the clerics, yeah, 46. With the clerics now unconscious, having this crimson mist exploded out to meet you, the crimson steam burning away at your flesh, the two clerics full unconscious, Lady Gelhart still coated with the ink left by Delos. Roll me a death saving throw, please.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
2.
One failure. As we come to Delos's turn,
We're in a bit of a
Whatever
bit of a
remains-
pickle here.
the remains of a heavily wounded, bloated form lumbering through the sea. It goes down, diving down below. Those of you still conscious on the shoreline see as she dives down below, coming to the underside of the dragon turtle, swimming down beneath it. And she raises up her hands towards it and is going to use
Oh, don't use lay on hands.
lay on hands on the dragon turtle.
She can't have
hear-
that much health. She's like, here, I'll fix it.
As
She can't,
some of the,
she can't ski.
As the blood
Fuck you.
ceases to drip from the mouth in such great torrents, yet it still does, and the various wounds still drip out into the sea, painting the bay around you in grim crimson coloration, as whatever she's done clearly hasn't fixed everything that ails it, as this punishing salvo of damage has gone into it. Let's help slightly. The creature still looks immensely worse than it did mere seconds ago.
Quick, where are the sharks?
As someone somewhere, there is a man named Horace doing something.
Fuck that guy.
Come to the dragon turtle's turn.
But we're
As
dead.
rearing, bleeding out from its maw, it snarls in this animalistic frenzy. It begins to submerge. Still see it beneath the tide. Yet, curiously, you watch as it begins to turn, list off to one side. As it does, it begins to propel itself away from your direction, although its tail still wreaths upwards, slamming down into those of you closest, as it's basically going to use its movement to come forward and then loop around, as its tail slams directly into you, Evandar.
It used tail whip.
Tail whip doesn't do any damage, it just lowers your attack.
It used defense curl.
Damn it, Squirtle.
That's a tail slap.
Go ahead and roll me a strength saving throw, Evandar.
That's your specialty.
Don't say that. Don't say that out loud. Never say that out loud. Not 20. I saw the one. I was scared. Okay.
He grabs the tail.
As you see this tail whipping out around you, as this creature begins to turn away, its tail slamming down into you, it full on grabs you right into the chest. As it does, you feel something within break, snap with the force of the impact as you take 16 points of bludgeoning damage from the impact. And you feel, as the tail begins to slam into you, grab hold, keeping it from launching you into the distance. Using your superlative strength to hold onto it. As it begins to cascade down into the sea, you manage to lift it slightly and let its trajectory carry it forwards and away from you, coming to a stop at the edge of the bay, not being tossed by the sheer momentum of it. As the creature turns about and is going to.
Oh no, more?
Did it just leave my
Oh,
combat
right.
space?
It has a 15 feet reach with its tail. So it basically, I didn't do it in the movement, but it went forward and then turned about and hit you on the way past. And now it's doing the rest of its movement to start going down. As
So
it
you do
seems to
that.
be,
What? Sorry.
as its heavily wounded form trailing blood and viscera into the sea, seems to be submerging and attempting to make its way out.
So essentially, in my head, he just did that thing that divers do, also like those swimmers do when they're going to the one end of the pool, and then they dive down and then back kick off of the wall, except with a tail.
Yeah. Eli, go ahead and roll me a.
Yes, sir. I'm back, baby!
I was about to say he gets to restart because he was alive again, but never mind. He's good.
Eli, what would you like to do on your turn as you come to consciousness once more? Immediately looking up, you see the form of the chitinous crab-like monster leering over you, its tendrils whipping up and around its face. And you see in the distance the dragon turtle surprisingly turned about, facing the other direction and swimming away.
I don't know how close to death it is.
It looks
Finally awake.
like a medicine check. That can be your interaction check.
I'm familiar with this kind of turtle.
28.
With your innate understanding of oceanic creatures as well as superlative medical skills, you were able to determine that this creature is heavily wounded. Whatever Frankie did, doing like 250 damage in a single turn, has put it below 1/4 of its remaining health. It's hard to understate how much 250 damage in one turn really does.
I can't reach it.
Andrew, this is your time. Fly.
This is my moment.
Slay it.
Mm.
It is your nemesis.
It's your nemesis.
How close is
Frank,
I know.
Ferris wingman.
And to
your
you
girl.
he is, and you were 20 feet up, yeah?
Yeah.
So he is 20 feet from you.
22-ish.
That's not actually within 30 feet. All right, cool. Give me one more second. I have to calculate this correctly.
Wait, you also have sanctuary on you, Eli.
I do. It's important to know. But
What's that do?
So when he had advantage with the breath attack and stuff.
Would have
Is
helped.
that-
You had 5 HP.
yeah,
No.
I was dead.
Okay. I tried.
I don't have a bonus action heal up. Oh boy. But it's alright. It's fucking. It's not your turn till ages. Okay. So I choose myself, and Shishulus rips through fucking reality.
Why?
And doesn't go where you expect him to go, as I drag the entire party to the ballistas.
Oh shit.
Oh
shit.
These
Oh,
these
shit.
ones too.
Yep. So
As
these boys get nothing, and
As
we
these
get
chittering monsters attempt to smack down into their pincers, having sandwiched you between them, getting you exactly where they want, Elijah, you, with the water still cascading around you from your previous maneuvers and all around you, you raise up your hands, and the water from the sea rises up in these spinning tendrils that wrap immediately around you in blinding motion and around the rest of your companions, conscious and unconscious, as you all find yourself pulled at breakneck pace, unable to resist, deep down into the water. Darkness overtakes you for a second. You see in the distance, faintly, the murky form of Delos swimming through before, in a flash of blue light, you all find yourselves ripped away, dripping wet, right beside the ballistas, looking down at the flank of this colossal creature, trailing crimson in its wake, and bits of flesh and blood left behind.
I then, with my bonus action, go to this ballista and cast magic weapon.
Alright, as you focus your hand onto it, seeing that it's sitting there, it seems to need loading, but you yourself are able to put your hand on and cast through the power of Deep Shishulus to imbue the weapon with holy strength.
Oh, actually, hang on. I didn't upcast. Hang on. Sorry, I was supposed to upcast that to
And if you like.
that level. There we go. My
Alright.
third level spell slots, my second level spell slots are more important than my fourth level spell slots. There we go. So Using a spell at a 4th level or higher, the bonus is +2. Okay, so yeah, +2 now.
Alrighty.
And then that's my action, bonus action, and can I use my movement to load that, or is that an action?
I think you can use your interaction action to load it.
Alright, I will load the ballista, the magic ballista,
Alrighty.
and then step away so that someone that is capable of using it in their turn can use it.
Alright. Having loaded up the ballista, we move that to the top of the initiative step before Anders' turn. With the bell still tolling in the distance, you begin to hear more movement coming in your way. And I'm going to quickly roll.
Do they arrive?
Funnily enough, as you teleport yourself up and away from the streets and the creatures look around for targets, you see several black-clad soldiers moving their way up the streets onto the left and right, each carrying the black armor consistent with the members of the Watch, the Council's personal force, each carrying those strange weapons that you've seen several times throughout your adventures as they charge forward, looking down the streets toward these two creatures. Two different units each level their weapons, and in the sound like rolling thunder, they line up shots against them, piercing into flesh and exposing the chitinous, cracking through the chitinous plates on the outside, exposing gooey flesh beneath as it begins to melt away between the gunfire of the Watch as they make their way in. Alright, Ander, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna jump on the ballista. Fuck
Okay.
it. So it's this one, because and I'm gonna take a
Loaded,
shot.
it's magical.
I'm gonna take a shot at Mr. Dragon Turtle.
Alright. It'll be your dexterity plus your proficiency bonus because of, and +2 for the magic weapon, I think it was. Because of your, proficiency because of your time in the Hercian Isles.
Okay,
I
so
have proficiency?
okay.
Practice.
+4 because of dragon.
It's probably easier if I just type this out. So roll d20 plus 5 plus proficiency, which is
Also 5.
another 5.
And then plus
Plus
your
2.
favorite enemy.
Plus.
You want to make this a sharpshooter with a ballista.
D20 plus 12, basically.
Alright,
I
go
think.
ahead and roll.
Wait, hang on. Wait, can you make sharpshooters with ballistas?
What does sharpshooter say?
When you use a weapon you're proficient with?
Sharpshooter. Where is it? There he
Put
is.
it in chat.
Okay. Around.
It's a ranged weapon.
Range
This
weapon.
ballista's
So
we
you
make an
can,
attack
yeah, if you
that
want.
you're proficient with. That you're proficient
You
with.
are
You are
proficient.
You are
with it.
proficient.
You are proficient with it.
As you
I
mount
could.
up on the ballista, Eli,
it's
like through
+7.
Rast's breaths, take the shot.
All right, I'm gonna take
Shishula's
this. I'm
will
gonna,
guide
I'm
your
gonna take this,
strike.
I'm gonna take the chance. I'm gonna take the chance and do a sharpshooter.
Go for it.
So it's a +7, not a +12.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna use
Oh.
my
22!
He wasn't kidding.
22.
His
Plus is
strike roll
22.
was guided. As
Oh.
you line up the shot, feeling slightly tense as you line up the shot, trying to refamiliarize yourself with the weapon, aiming at one of the creature's exposed flanks. You line up the shot, and in true fashion, you find the shot guided by Deep Shashulas. As it goes to pierce down onto the creature's flank, you see it list to one side, and the shell begins to face it before, off it to its right-hand side, a wave, almost out of nowhere, slams down into its side, causing it to rock to its opposite end and exposing the fleshy underbelly beneath for the briefest moment as the bolt pierces home. Go ahead and roll. It's 3d10 damage for the ballista.
Yes.
3d10.
Plus 2.
Okay. Roll
Plus
3d10
17?
plus
Plus 17.
plus
Does he
plus
get, like,
17.
Where's the 7 coming from?
It's dex bonus, isn't it?
You don't get dex bonus for ballista.
So the
Okay.
additional damage is a +10 to the attack damage. So
Then it's a plus
10,
12.
So it's 3d10 plus 12.
12. Okay.
12.
It's-
Yeah.
Oh, because the magic.
Magic weapon.
Mhm.
Go ahead and roll,
I'll
baby.
just do. I'll do all the damage separately, so I get it right. So +10 for the sharpshooter, +2 for the magic weapon, +4 for the favored enemy. Plus. Oh god, I'll do them separately. Fuck it. So that's the first one. Then roll
I was gonna say,
D8
do you also get
for
the
the-
fact that it's wounded and
Colossus Slayer,
yeah,
And I did the +4 for favored enemy. Okay, cool.
Yep.
That's it.
Just
Alright, so
just
that's
for the sake
42
of more
points of
dice
damage.
cipher, saying that we teleported to this position, would Ander have sneak attack?
I don't think so. I wouldn't say
No.
so.
No, not from here.
I mean, the turtle is aware of his
that
presence
would be
and
pushing.
that he would be shooting it, so...
Alright.
It's like, what the fuck?
So as he takes 42 points of damage as the ballista sails across the sea, the wave rising the creature up to expose its underbelly to the shot, you pierce directly into its flesh and see the bolt pierce directly in, erupting around a already present wound from the fireballs. You see it tears it open and begins to cascade out more internal organs, blood, and viscera. The creature lets out this low, almost moan, this reverberating, bassy, half roar, half moan that seems to falter halfway through, as it's, while heavily wounded, it is still up.
Ah! Damn it, I wanted to slow. And
Anything
to
more,
reload
Andy?
it, would it have been my interaction action to use it?
It would have been your action was to use it to fire.
So I could use my interaction to reload?
Yes.
Then I will do that, and then I will move away from the
I
ballista.
was going to say, he can't fire again, can he?
Does Ander still
can
have
shoot
his
with his bow,
ASMR
can't
healing ability?
And to have what?
Asmar
Does
healing
Ander still
ability.
have his ASMR healing ability?
That's for Ander to know and me to find out if he ever brings it up. Anyway, moving on.
My healing hands is tapped out already. I can't do anything.
All right,
Mhm.
Evandar. If that's all for Ander, it is your turn.
So you're saying I should move over to the ballista and use it?
It's an option.
That's what I'm hinting, yes.
Will do.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
So that's a d20 plus proficiency plus dex bonus plus 2.
Sure is.
Let's see
I'm
how that
gonna give him
works.
my inspiration for advantage.
All right, you
It
got
is-
inspiration for advantage, feeling Frankie's phantasmal force looking over you. You want to show off. You want to get. Think of the glory. You think to yourself. You
Our
look at this
friendship.
creature, this colossal
Friendship,
creature, and you
friendship.
say, "I got to get the killing shot on this." And you're driven forwards to get that final good shot.
18?
That
That
might
with
be?
advantage?
He's a-
That's
Yes.
with advantage.
Yeah, he did keep highest. Yeah. He did an 8 and a 3.
All right, as you let loose the shot to slam down onto the creature imbued with holy energy and the inspiration of Frankie, you see as it slams into the upper portion of the creature's shell, ricocheting off and lumbering down into the sea, not even piercing the shell. The shot misses.
I'm gonna use my interaction action to reload as well. Can I use multi-attack on that? Extra attack?
He didn't let me do it, so I mean.
I mean, you didn't ask for it.
What does
Other people
multi-attack
said-
say?
When you make a weapon attack, you can make another one.
I'd say so.
Well, that's bullshit then.
Why didn't you do it?
You guys asked him. You said, "Can you?" Oh, whatever.
All right, do it, Evandar.
I will do it again!
No advantage on this one.
Eh. Don't need it.
believe
Need it.
It's well and truly a hit.
3d10 plus 2?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 2d10. Type it right, Evandar. Type it right.
I want you to die.
Very
All
nice.
right, as again you line up a shot, focusing more intently this time, releasing as it sails down and collides into the side of the creature's neck at the front of it, twisting the ballista to get the shot. It slams down and in, once again piercing flesh and letting out this cry from the creature as it attempts to get through the waves and away. As, despite the wounds still dripping forth and wounds mounting to the point this looks more blood than creature, still up.
Can I use a bonus
forward.
action to reload it once more?
Yeah.
Well, then let's use that third attack that I have, right?
Yeah.
Don't let me
I
down.
want to kill this thing.
Yes! Yes! Crit City, baby!
Calm down.
Go,
Oh my
go,
goodness,
go.
What's going on?
Do the
So is
damage.
it 60-10 plus 2?
That 2 means everything.
39!
Evandar, continuing the unloading the punishing salvo into the creature, lining up your third shot, attempting to find a weakness in its form, trying to seek out the final shot, the final kill. How do you want to do it?
After seeing that it's slightly belly up, he's gonna be like, he's gonna be looking at its still intact eye, and if it's on the wrong side, then the missing eye, I guess. Thinking to himself, hold up, this is better, and just shoots the eye.
Professionals have standards.
As you line up the shot, piercing the creature's opposite eye, blinding it for the briefest moment of life it exists before the ultimate end. You line up the shot, it pierces through the side of the creature's head, through the eye. Coming in from the back from your shot, it pierces the creature's brain and out through the eye, leaving a rather perfect eye about halfway through the shaft as it's come to exit out the other side, being lodged in the creature's skull.
Ew!
As with this listing, almost drunken motion, the creature sways back and forth in the waves momentarily before simply going limp, its limbs drooping down, its head listing to one side as it simply begins to float, half sinking into the waves.
Go collect your victory scale.
Letting go of the ballista, he's gonna let out a bellowing war cry and then pukes blood all over the stones in front of him.
Alright.
All I imagine
I like from the moment it showed up to the moment it died, Galeheart saw nothing.
Yeah, you guys fought a dragon turtle win.
All I was seeing was Evandar, one hand loading the fucking ballista, like he was pulling it back with one humongous pipe, and then loading the ballista at the same time, just throwing it in.
It's not a crossbow, Evandar.
It's not in color and it looks like a World War II photo.
One-man army.
Alright.
No wonder you guys dominated the high seas and the high Hercine Isles.
As the creature lifts beneath the waves,
Yeah, we did.
you see these crab-like monsters let out this screech, this piercing cry that echoes out into the night as they both run and jump back into the sea, evidently not wishing to stay any longer after that display. As they sink beneath the waves, vanishing in this cloud of ink that they spread out amongst themselves.
Someone grabbed the
They make their way
turtle.
beneath the waves. Frankie.
Oh,
Yeah?
oh shit.
For
Yeah?
heedless of everything going on in the battle around you, you find yourself snatched from reality for the briefest moment. You open your eyes.
There goes gravity.
You open your eyes, floating this strange sense of weightlessness upon you. You feel yourself almost like in a dream. You can't quite open your eyes. You can't quite move the way you want to. You float in this faintly pink-orange ethereal vapor all around you. And above, what seems like glimmering lights, like stars perhaps. Before you find yourself shifted violently in one direction by this motion behind you. You turn to see this shadowed silhouette in the clouds behind you. For you two vanish from this place, back into the material realm.
Yeah?
You
Where?
over here.
Oh, there.
What
Okay.
would you like to do,
Where's over
Frankie?
here?
You see immediately before you the form of the now listing slain dragon turtle. Its flanks pierced with many ballistae bolts and trailing wounds into the sea.
Probably hear the tail end of Evandar's scream.
I'm gonna use my last dimension door to get back to the party, and I'm gonna give Galeheart a healing potion.
Go ahead and roll a d4 for me.
Oh god, yeah.
Explodes, kills everyone.
4.
Alright, managing to keep the lid on your wellspring of power for now. You
Fireball
give the-
self.
kills everyone. You give the potion to Lady Gale. Go ahead and roll for it.
quote give shoves down throat.
Thank
Oh,
you.
my
let me
teeth!
fi-
You're not breathing. Fix this.
It's a what was a
Didn't-
greater
didn't-
health potion again?
44 plus 4.
Use your didn't you use your direct action to dimension door and then?
It's an
So would
interaction.
I thought
would
do
it
you
be an
mean?
interaction, or would I have to
That's
roll
a
a
bonus
death saving throw before this happens?
This is to give someone a potion is an action, yes.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'd have to roll a death saving
Well-
throw before this happens, before I get this juice.
Well, that would
okay.
mean it was my
Wait,
turn
wait,
before
wait,
them. So
what was the dice again, guys? I'm sorry.
44 plus
we'll
4.
continue the turn order because
4d4.
Oh, no.
plus 4.
because if you can't do it this turn, then someone else would get a spell off before that.
That's 13. Well, I wanted to give her the juice.
It's, okay.
Am I back up, or are we?
Well, you can't do it because she's just dimension door across, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
She's just holding up the potion. Why can't I do this?
So,
Frankie just sits down. Then she's tired.
Out of time.
just, boom. Okay, now. I'm gonna take
Lady
a for a
Galhart,
second.
roll me a death save, please.
Okay.
Do not roll an actual one, I swear to fucking
She's,
three.
she's
You just said
fumbling
it!
10.
Okay. Success. That's one success.
That's right, you could have taken another fail.
Mm-hmm.
As careening through the waves, you see the form of Delos. Attempting to make it the same way down the opposite side of the creature from where you are. Attempting
Get
much
her
the same
hand.
way as its former ally to flee the scene. As somewhere, this guy does something.
Oh boy.
Fuck that guy.
As we come around to Elijah's turn.
Right.
Heal!
Yeah. I will sort of. At this point, I feel like after I had enchanted the ballista, like Eli's just on his on all fours, just focusing on being alive. You know when you get that drunk and you're just
Yeah.
in that moment of fucking bliss where you're like, "Oh God, am I alive?" And I sort of
Every Friday
collapse
night.
over and just reach a hand out to clasp onto Galhart as she cops a cure wounds.
Excellent. And there you go, Hart. You too, much like Frankie, come to fresh awareness of your surroundings, seeing the half-exploded carcass of the...
Am I still blind?
No, you are no longer blind.
Okay.
That
Seeing
would
the
be weird.
half-exploded carcass of the creature listing in the sea, sinking lightly beneath the waves. And
What the fuck happened?
Not my turn, okay.
as you see more and more guards coming through in your direction, we will leave initiative step for now. But if you guys want to do anything related to this, you certainly can.
I do
I mean,
say
I
to
was gonna
Ander
try and
as I'm doing it,
Yep.
kill that bitch.
Yeah, I was gonna try and kill Dallas, but yeah.
Evan now
You
just
certainly
turns
can, although
around.
right now you can't see her.
Evan now
I
just
shoot up in.
flight.
I shoot up 20 feet in the air. Do I see her?
She would have cover, but yeah.
he ignores cover,
Well,
it's fine.
guess what? Guess what ignores cover? I'm gonna sharpshoot her.
Go for it.
While he's doing that, Evan now just turns around, sits on the floor, looks towards Galehard, salutes. Mission accomplished.
What mission?
Go ahead and roll
24?
damage for me.
Do I get Colossus Slayer or anything?
She is taking damage, yeah.
And is she a humanoid? Because that's also my favorite enemy.
She is a humanoid.
Just favorite enemy. Okay. And do I get sneak? No, I don't get sneak attack.
Roll damage.
29.
All right, putting the final flourish at the end of this, the final cherry on top, you come to sail up higher above the carcass, above the crimson waves, and line up the shot, piercing into the side of Delis's neck, or what remains of the corpulent mess of it. As with a choking gasp, she too comes to float, dead along the waves, besides her more colossal companion.
It's done.
Well, the guards!
Frankie's pulling a bandana out of her bag and wrapping her head up.
Oh God, Cat's a
What?
victim.
Hey, hold. What's going on? Something exploded,
Jackie, you're
and
balding.
then
I
What
think that
happened?
was me.
I think we just found our 300,000 gold. Oh.
Right?
what?
And then some.
I just kind of stand up and I kind of look at this. I know. Do I know what dragon tails are? I think I've rolled for this in the past.
You do. In a theoretical sense, you've never really looked. You've never really had too much exposure to who they are, what they do, but you know that they exist.
What happened? Where did
Um,
where did this thing come from? Where did this dragon turtle come from?
It came from the ocean, then it scalded everything, so that got real hot. Then Frankie
So that's
disappeared.
what that was.
Then Frankie
What?
disappeared. Then it spit blood everywhere. And then we were at the ballistas and killed it, I think? Did I miss something?
I used the time stop scroll,
The what now?
and you got remember Vizzy, you gave me that scroll.
From the penitent's hoard. Aye.
Yeah, and then I then I dimension doored into its mouth and shot fireballs into its stomach. Then stuff got weird.
Aye.
Then I was in a different dimension. Everything was orange. I felt like I was weightless. And then there's a shadowy figure, and then I reappeared on the other side of the dock.
I can't believe
did
I
I
missed
miss?
every single. I can't believe I missed all of that. Fucking,
Granted,
and
I
I
did
kind of look around myself. I've still got some gunk on. I'm just very furiously trying to wipe it off. Fucking stupid gunk in my fucking eyes.
As you are looking around Lady Galehart, you see the guard units that had came their way up and started firing upon the crablet creatures, continuing to make their way up, more coming along behind them. You see these various units forming up, attempting to establish a perimeter around the area, cordoning off streets, and getting everything into gear. Several come out to the waves themselves and see the carnage before them, their corpse listing in the waves. And you see not disorder spread among them, but their order definitely falters somewhat. They begin to talk amongst each other. We see more units begin to rug up, civilians and other soldiers alike, not members of the council. The civilians, the soldiers do their best to keep out of the way, but several are able to gain sight onto the scene before them. You
I just
see,
raised. Sorry.
Raise a hand and
As-
wave slowly.
as you do, as
I
you
was-
wave,
oh,
as
I
you
was gonna
raise
ra-
your
I was
hand
gonna
up
raise-
to these gathered soldiers all around you, at least 100, perhaps more, and more coming in with every passing moment. As you lift up your hand to wave, this deafening cheer echoes up from 100 throats at once, as they seem to, having been gobsmacked by the initial sight of it, they seem to put two and two together of what had been done here, and the cheer could rouse the entire city with its sheer unbridled noise they call forth.
As a bit of
Not,
added
not,
flavor.
not
As
to
a bit of
interrupt
added.
you,
No,
Cypher, but yeah.
Let him speak!
You've had all your cool stuff. I haven't done anything.
You were blind!
What's up, Joe? All right.
I raise up my Basilex. I cast light and a little bit of extra kind of flamboyance. Tobor from the back of my hood will just kind of spit up a bit of fire that will just kind of explode and then shout on like a little bit of a small firework over us.
All at
Eli's
once,
listlessly
mimicking the
clapping.
action of Galahart. Sorry, Eli, what were you doing?
Just during all of this, unfazed, Eli's just closed his eyes and gargling in Aquan just prayers.
As you raise your axe in this display, Galahart, you see the cheers reach new heights as these soldiers are either completely breaking down of military protocol, hugging one another or just cheering out. Many, the majority raise their weapons in a salute towards you, much in the same way you're doing to them, balancing their weapons up towards you. As you're looking out at them, you see a familiar figure come through the crowd as the elegance on display immediately frames her in such a way. Wearing a what appears to be a nightgown, far less elaborate than what she wore before, of the fine purple silks with golden embroidery and crimson sashes coming down through the cuffs. As you recognize the Archmage Diplomatic Union from Waterdeep, coming forward to inspect everything going on here. She
Well, at
looks
least I
up.
have a good disguise now.
She looks up towards all of you, and faintly, imperceptibly, she seems to nod before beginning to more closely analyze the creature. She walks out onto the edge of the water where the blood-soaked waves lay, and
Before she goes towards it, Evan's gonna somehow get up, limp towards her, and just ask, so where you want that thing?
given where you are, it will take you a little bit. So
Okay,
as
okay.
she,
Well,
as,
okay.
you can still do it. You can still do it, but as she,
Yeah.
you see her as she walks out with a motion of her hand. She walks out onto the waves themselves, not stopping to miss a beat, and simply walks along the water as though it were nothing.
Well, okay, that works too.
More,
That works too.
as we're
more
going along-
closely examine. Do you still go up and say that, or?
Yeah.
Well, seeing as
As
she
we're
does
going
that, I
along-
assume she heard me. I was just gonna say, okay, that works too.
As we're going along, as we're all kind of rallying up, knowing that a lot of people are low on hit points, I'm just patting up closed wounds on everyone, including myself, giving as look as it as a sort of sign of revelry, masking the fact that we are probably on the verge of death.
11. I meant 11.
I'll also channel 2 spell slots of cure wounds into Eli as well.
All right. So as the healing is being done, you're making your way down alongside Evandar.
That's
The
16 into Eli.
Archmage turns to you as you say that, Evandar, already midway across towards the creature. I believe this will suit satisfactorily. She turns towards one of the myriad watchmen. Secure this area. As the healing is all being done, and the watchman nods, issuing a few commandments to make their way and cordon off the streets. Several of them that had not been given direct orders at this immediate moment, suddenly interject themselves between all of you, and your healing going amongst yourselves, several lifting you up above their heads and cheering out. Clearly very taken with your display and obvious success. As you find yourselves for several moments held aloft by these men and women cheering your names, well, those that seem to know your names. But as one or two of them begins to shout it out, evidently having heard of you from someplace somewhere, the cry keeps coming up. And for a few rather painful moments as you're jostled around between these people with fresh wounds, still being rather brazenly pushed around.
Painful screams.
Wait,
Ow!
does one of you speak Aquan? I feel like one of you could understand Aquan.
I think Ender?
Can't remember if I still have it or if I ended up dropping it when my class was rearranged. Let me double check.
Oh, good.
But as you
Grabs a cup of water.
As the
Here, let me
festivities
check.
of the local watchmen take you, pats on the back and congratulations from all of them, almost one by one, at this nauseating display of you struggle to maintain your footing, maintain your composure, and not collapse to the ground before these people that seem to be raising you up ever higher in their own perceptions. Eventually, however, more and more figures begin to encroach, more officers, more officials, more order begins to get maintained. Orders are given out to units, and they intersperse themselves. And you are politely instructed to leave for now, and though the commander of this particular unit says that someone will come and most likely see you later.
I would like to ask who is the commander.
You're just going to ask this person something, or you're going to ask who's the commander of this right now?
Yes.
Oh, I do still speak Aquan. Okay.
You do?
So
Yeah.
as you were being shepherded out by this by a small squad of the black-clad watchmen, what are you asking, Gerhardt?
We'll allow the watch council to take over this part. I just want to know who's the commander of the specific one.
Who would be our point of contact?
One of the figures with a rather open-fronted helmet sort of scratches at the stubble at his chin, sort of hocks a bit of phlegm off to one side, not able to wipe a stupid grin from his face. Well, all a bit sudden, as it were, so not entirely certain who's coming to take over. I think the fancy lady from up north is probably going to be keeping around for some time. We were told to do what she said, but can't really tell you. It's all a bit out of nowhere.
Aye, that's fine. I think we know of this person which you speak of. It's fine. I just wanted to know who was handling this this case. I will leave you to do your duty. Thank you very much for appearing when you did.
You're thanking us. Look at what you've done. All the fishermen can head out now. The ships can finally leave port.
It's important. Sorry to interrupt your revelry. It's important that you let the lady from the north know that there's a corpse out there as well, and to not let it get away.
See to it that's buried properly.
His face gets serious for a moment. Right. Yep. I can do that. It's the least we can do. All right.
Get to it, soldier.
All right. Get out of here. Don't mean to push you along, but this is bunny ears with his hands. Military matter now. But thank you.
Because
you don't even have to tell Frankie twice. She's like already like stumbling away. Bad.
Because Ander can understand my prayers, it basically broke down to Shasuls, you son of a bitch. Fucking do
What was that?
You're always coming in clutch, aren't you, boy?
Always coming in clutch, aren't you, boys?
You just leave me right on the edge. To everyone else, it's like, that's real deep. Poor Angus, like, is this really a god? What's going on here?
So, as you are shepherded out by the military personnel, as they begin to establish cordons, several civilians flocking at the edges as the watch secures the area. As you leave, you see the watchmen freshly assigned to this area, not just the ones that escort you to the perimeter, but those manning the perimeter itself, several dozen, all salute you as you make your way past. The salute's not dropping until you're out of sight. As surprising considering the chaos of the past few minutes, you find yourselves in an eerily quiet street, the darkness of the night still persistent overhead, with flickering oil lanterns above bathing your wounds in fresh light. The distant sounds of the orders of the watch grow ever more distant as you continue through the city. The chill wind caresses your form. Calm. Strange calm.
And
take over.
You still have the mark up, don't you?
Yes.
Not about to be ambushed, are we?
I would like to see if there's any. I don't know how does mark work now. So you have advantage on any wisdom perception or wisdom survival checks to find a target.
You took damage as well, didn't you, from the breath attack?
It's not concentration anymore.
Is it not? Okay.
God has changed how it works.
I see.
I
Right.
have
Sorry.
So
no
I would like to look around for any tracks of Mr. Catboy or whatever, Tiger Man.
Now, are you looking in this area, or are you sort of doubling back to where you last saw him?
I guess I'd look where we last saw him first as we were heading out.
All right, go ahead and make an investigation check.
At advantage.
At advantage.
Wait, is investigation at advantage?
Nope, only survival and perception.
Ah.
But
Oh,
we'll
then-
all
You're
help you
tracking-
search. It's fine.
All right, so advantage plus
Guns.
6. Advantage plus 6 plus d4.
Because when I'm asking him.
So many helpful people.
You are like.
Oh, shit.
initiating It.
Oh shit.
So 32 plus a d4, you say?
Yeah. It's gonna hand. Oh, you didn't get high enough. No.
35 is not high
If
enough.
only you got a 2 on that d4. All right, so Despite the wounds present across all of you and the utter weariness many of you exude, having pumped everything you could into that final battle, you begin to focus, calming yourself down and to take a few deep breaths, honing back in on the position you saw him flee from. You make your way to sort of the edge of the military cordon, and having seen what you did on the way out, you can sort of trace where the building goes and down onto one side. As following along behind him, the rest of you pointing out and helping as best you can. For the most part, let Ander focus in as he begins to hone in on his tasks, becoming less and less talkative and more just focused intently, taking on more of the hunter's angle, focusing on particular patches. Eventually, as you make your way to the sort of the rear end of several buildings that adjoin onto the one in which he fled atop, you find a long smear of blood down one side of the building, specifically towards the bottom. Honing in on that, and begin to see various droplets, very, very large amounts of blood. Not like it's flowing out of him, but he seems very heavily wounded. You see this very clear trail of blood making its way deeper into the city.
Well,
This is not my blood,
very
is it? Looks
visible
around.
trail now.
Let's not give him the chance to rest.
Are you sure? We took a beating back there.
So did
I'll
he.
take another before I let him get away.
I will use my last second level spell slot to do Pass Without Trace.
Okay. Go
that is
ahead,
the
and if
case-
everyone's being stealthy, go ahead and
Yeah.
make me stealth checks.
If that is the case as well, I am doing close wounds on everyone, in which to use all of our. I'm going to be spending all of my hit points if we're going to be doing this.
It does.
I'm actually pretty good.
I'm not.
You suck!
I'll roll another 3 then.
I'm gonna be doing this as well multiple
I was
times.
gonna say,
Oh, that's not good.
I'm gonna wait for everyone to finish rolling.
Yeah,
That might
let's
be a good idea.
not roll.
So it's the total half.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the total, and then you half it.
So it's 8.
This is the way that we can get away with using all of our hit dice without taking a short rest.
Mm-hmm.
The trade-off is, of course, wouldn't be as good as
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be stealthy now, plus 10.
Net 1. Good job.
You know that makes sense. Frankie just vibed out of dimension.
Can't remember if I get any
I'm
advantage.
getting a lot of triple numbers.
stealthiness or not.
I got lucky.
that I
I got
need-
lucky 7 earlier.
Not that I need advantage on stuff, but
Nice. 23. Oh, those are health dice.
Yes, those are health dice.
Nope, didn't like that. Right, cool.
I mean, they are.
And then a stealth
Roll.
check with plus. That's a 16.
16.
Oh wait, hang on. Sorry to fuck that up in the middle there. It's a 16.
Just, 1, 2.
oh yeah, there's nothing that gives me advantage on stuff. So regular stealth roll. Plus
Not
10.
like you need it.
You have a plus 10. You.
Oh, sorry.
Alright.
Sure, it's
The
just a plus
dexterous
10, it's a plus
rogue.
15.
Oh, that's a shit roll, but
Look at that,
27.
he rolled a 2.
Stealth roll. You wanted as well.
I rolled a 2.
All right. So, with Lady Gelhart's healing the majority of you to
25.
whatever extent it can, you begin
Patching
to
up.
follow after the trail of this leonine creature, following in its tracks the blood-stained prints and blood patches along several bits of ground and wall. Eventually, as you continue, seem to be gaining somewhat, and you can tell the blood is more fresh and in greater quantities. As eventually you make a right turn down a very dimly lit alleyway between two large buildings, very thin, only as long as you could be able to walk single file through it. And those of you with dark vision, at the end of the alley, around 20, 30 feet away, in the middle point between the two buildings, you see a figure hunched against the side of the, seated against the side of the building, back on it, clutching at various wounds on its form, breathing.
If I'm leading group, I raise my hand and I whisper back like, He doesn't look in the state to fight.
I kind of
This
want to
could be
go
a
up to him and
chance
ask him a very simple question.
You feel unlucky, punk.
I was gonna,
Fucking was it blaster.
I was gonna say, did you miss us? But that works too.
I mean, Evandar is the last person I want to see coming out of the darkness while I'm bleeding in
You-
an alley.
You walk up, and Creature's head turns towards you.
I'm holding my action to cast a sacred flame if he tries to escape.
You. Determined lot, aren't you?
Say the same for yourself.
Blood falls out of its mouth and onto the furred jaw. Come to finish the job, have you?
Wouldn't
I
you?
wouldn't advise it. I would, but if I were in your shoes, I'd take a second thought.
If
Kill
you were
me.
in our shoes, you wouldn't have just killed a dragon turtle.
Smiles. Good work. I heard the commotion. But you kill me, I'll haunt you like a specter.
You wouldn't be
until
the
I
first
drag
and
you
not the
all
last.
down.
Frank,
No idle
you know,
threat,
Frankie's
boy.
gonna come to Evandar's side. What made you think we talked on you guys?
Who else would have? Fresh lot come in, get told everything by that damned fool, and then leave without a word. Who else am I to expect?
Well, actually, we got wrapped in a murder mystery and rebels. She's tired.
So I'd heard.
You think we
Someone's
have time?
paying me more than my share to. Runs his thumb across his neck. See to it that you are gone. I thought I'd miss my pay, but it seems I might anyway. Not that I recommend it. I don't make idle threats, boy. He looks to you, Evandar. I don't mean I'll haunt you like a ghost. I mean I'll be back. Again and again and again.
That might not be necessary. We didn't betray you. We didn't betray your master or anything along that line.
Make a persuasion check.
Shit. Shit. Shit.
23.
Woo! It narrows his eyes towards you. Moves a paw away from his chest and comes away drenched in blood. Then who did?
Our enemies, perhaps. I do not know for certain. What I can tell you for certain is that we were making plans in which to make it that we could assist you if we wanted to. Unfortunately, other things fell into our lap, and we found more pressing and more priority matters than helping a bunch of thugs steal from someone else.
Right.
I'm sorry that we did not tell you in person, but things happen, as you probably well know in this line of work.
Certainly.
You said that fool told us everything. Where is that fool now?
Locked up. Dead, maybe. Probably locked up.
Do you not think
Same with him and the rest.
So why come after us? You said you were being paid. Paid by who?
Ah, foolish creature. That gives something for nothing. And I am not exactly in the talking state.
Frankie walks up to him and pulls out one of the greater healing potions. I know most people use liquor to get information, but will this do?
He already has his hand up for it. Quite well.
Well, first exchange, and then we'll give.
You're lucky I'm not my brother. I would not take kindly to being shanked like that. And she gives him the bottle.
Okay.
As your
never
friend
mind.
says, things happen. Uncorks it and takes a long draught of it.
We do not. We do not
Always
wish to
thought those things
remain.
taste like piss.
We do not wish to remain hostile. We have bigger things in which to deal with, and someone of your skill would very much impede our work. You
That's
can
an
trust me when I
understatement.
you can trust me when I honestly said we had nothing to do with whatever happens to you and your allies.
I don't know if I believe you.
Well, I think
don't.
it's safe to. I think it's safe to say if we had a part in it, we would have just killed you off the bat right now.
No, I think you're smarter than that, but
You
I'm not
underestimate
going
us.
to. I'm not going to die for some two-bit revenge. Money, on the other hand. Well, it just so happens I have information you may find very interesting. For
Well,
the
how
right
about
price.
how about you exchange some of that information, I'll cure up some of those wounds for you. How about that?
Oh my god, we're Western medicine.
Sure.
Bleed 'em dry.
I will cast one charge of close wounds upon him.
Between that and the potion, he suddenly starts to look a lot better. The fire returned to the eyes, and the smoothness returned to the movements.
Frankie discreetly hides behind Avindar. Not like totally, but is now placed herself between him and him.
I was set to make 10,000 golden dragons off the Eldradi Emerald. Now somebody is offering me 20 for 5 heads. Points at all of you.
Who is that someone?
You're familiar with the council, yes?
Aye.
Yes.
I think I know who it was.
Yeah, I think I know.
Seems there's folk on the council not too happy with you. They said I could make a bit of coin, get some of my family out. Seemed a good proposition. Look how that turned out.
A favor for a favor, aye.
More
In
or less.
exchange for our heads, this certain member of the Watch Council has the sway in which to release your allies, your companions.
Oh, it wasn't just your heads.
There's more.
Always more.
I'll cast another set of closed wounds on him.
You're familiar with mercenaries in the city.
Aye.
The group Brigandiathi, they were called.
Oh.
Their leader refused a proposition. Didn't want him accepting any others. So
I see.
he went.
So you're going to take his hand as well.
He's already gone.
Okay.
Shite.
Now, my employer is very pleased. They're stuck in their funerals and traditions. If my employer can't have him, no one can. Smiles and shakes his head. Then there was a boy, young, guarded, didn't get through to him.
My face turns sour.
Of course, they were after him.
Had some tall ones. That is sad.
Goliath are good at defending people, aren't they?
Better than most.
And you're the one not to make idle threats, yeah?
Shakes his head.
Well, then let me make you a promise. Your contract against us and against Edmund, if you wish to continue it, you can try. However, we know who you are now. We know why you've come after this. And we know who your employer is. If you continue along that path, we will not only take all of the gold promised, we'll not only take everything that you have been hired for, we'll also tell the council of what your little friend is up to. And we'll tell them that your little allies are involved with Saxon's schemes, and they'll be dealt as prisoners of war.
Make an intimidation check.
I blew up a dragon turtle.
I'm not good at
Just
this.
from behind.
She's very actively kind of shaking. She's not used to threatening people.
This is not
Look,
bad.
you seem under the false impression. Give a rat's ass or any of those people. I want my family out. I want my money. And even if you cut my throat right now, I'll be back. Cut it again and I'll be back. You can kill me as many times as you want. Unless you come to hell, finish me off, I'll always come back.
I know that
Frankie
feel,
pulls
bro.
out Frankie pulls out the unattuned plane shifting necklace. Oh, I'm
Fancy
sorry, is
piece
that-
of kit. He doesn't seem to recognize what it is.
Oh, it's an amulet. Lets me plane shift.
Through the
I wonder
earpiece.
where I could go with it.
Through the earpiece. Please don't make us go back to hell.
It's not. I'm not attuned to it. We have
I'm
to go
not-
there eventually. You hear over the earpiece.
I'm not here to trade threats. You want to kill me? Kill me.
So you're
Wanna
a
let me go? Let me go.
You
so
know,
you're a devil.
you know what? You know,
letting you go. If we let you go, we have no guarantee that you'll not just return and try and
In-
claim
in-
your bounty
actually-
and claim the heads on us. If we kill you, as you said, you'll just return.
you know what my people did with someone like you who wouldn't listen, who made the threat to
Evan-
come back.
Frankie,
We just cut off some hands.
Oh,
Fight with a stump. That's gonna be fun.
Frankie
puts a
kind of
hand
tugs
out
on
to
you,
you.
tugs on Evandar's arm, pulling him back. Well, since you made it clear that threats don't matter, and you've seen that maybe getting your family back this way isn't the most profitable, how about you help us then? We clearly are gaining fame by not even trying. Maybe we'll eventually have enough pool to do you a favor in return.
Birds
I
of a
mean-
feather. He nods at you.
Correct.
I mean, I did just stop time and shoot fire down a
You're
a dragon-sized turtle.
you stand to make a lot more under our employ. Your current employer relies on a lot of things going right to be able to ever free your family.
We have a lot of ways in which we can make it go very wrong.
We're pretty good at making things go wrong.
That we are.
So, which is it? Is
Choice
it
is
you're going
yours.
to make me a deal I can't refuse, or is it you're going to cut off my hand?
Choice is yours.
Oh. Depends on whether or not you refuse the deal. So your current employer is offering 20,000 for what? 6
Five
heads at this point?
At this point,
Ours as well as a child's.
I find children are easier.
Oh, not this one.
Good state.
Oh,
But and the release of your family after accomplishing such a thing. Your family, are they being kept as prisoners by the council or
by your employer.
Or I'd assume they're just in the Watchers' jails. Which one? Not sure. All I know is my employer can get to them.
We have good sway with the council, and while we cannot promise anything of a release, as much as the same as your benefactor has access to them. Once we have dealt with this war, once we have won, we can do whatever we can. In which
Frankie's gonna step forward, leading into what you were saying. We
Mm.
do have to bodyguard an Infernomancer after this war. If anybody will know where our prisoners are, he's the best source. And I'm sure keeping him alive will make him grateful and we can return the favor to you.
But
So
enough about your family.
Mm.
What if we offer you 30,000 to kill your current employer and free your family? You stand to make 10,000 more once again, and have a much greater chance of ever seeing your family again if the only one that can touch them can no longer.
Make a persuasion check, Elijah. I would say with advantage, but it seems after the mention of an Infernomancer, he's.
Well, there's a net 20 and the 19 at
It's a natural
disadvantage.
20. Sorry, that was, yeah. I still had it on
Oh.
disadvantage. So natural 20 on the persuasion?
Natural 20. Too bad. No.
Too bad it doesn't affect
11 too low.
Yeah, for a total of.
He comes to stand. Blood still streaking across his back and up the wall behind him. 30,000.
You'll be.
Before I shake this, I just have to confirm who your employer was.
The
You have no
natural
allegiance.
20.
Yeah.
It was a certain council member. Not familiar with all of them, but he called himself the Grand Master.
I fucking knew it!
Yep.
Was there any
They're
doubt?
Best friends.
Understanding that the art of the deal, Eli extends his hand. In that case, 30,000 for his head.
He grabs your wrist, squeezes rough and shakes just as, pulls you in, close. You don't want to renege on this one, boy. Believe
We ordered. Oh, I didn't hear this.
Let's
Right
go
when
around.
we get our monster bounty, we'll put that aside.
One last thing, if I may. When we fought earlier, you mentioned that I led them to this, led those aquatic creatures to this location, or something of that order. What do you mean by that?
Taps the side of his head. You've got a guest.
I assume we all look towards Andrew's head.
I look at
I
his
wasn't
ankle.
working directly with those oceanic ones. They approached me. They said you saw something you weren't supposed to. You needed to go. And that they knew where to get you. Points to his head again. So you've got a beacon right inside of you.
What?
Don't ask me how it got there. All I know is they can find it. They're probably watching us right now.
Oh no.
That's frustrating.
Well,
Frankie puts a bag over your head so they don't see us.
we're people of our word. I trust that you'll get this done, and I will, again, close whatever wounds that I can on him.
He looks, having come to stand, towering over the majority of you. Looks down. A deal's a deal.
Aye.
And money talks.
With a flash of faintly crimson smoke,
Yes.
he vanishes from the spot.
Mans is either a devil or demon.
The answer is yes.
Oh
Tell
no.
so he's a devil.
I'm just gonna add this since Cypher, I'm gonna be honest. You have put me on edge around this character so fucking hard that the more he was being healed, the more nervous I was getting. So Evandar, as Frankie was still behind your back, when he poofed, you feel her jump and is now like almost clinging to your shoulders behind you. As she was like about to ready to just hide behind you.
I can only assume what kind of bargain we've struck.
One that cost us 30,000 and his family.
I really hope we
Well.
get a lot for the turtle.
Fuck,
gave me a
I
thought
believe we
that-
should
that-
take whatever we want for them.
I did give me a thought as well, but perhaps once we've rested. I should kind of look back to the group. By the way, Jackie, what's wrong with you? Where's your hair gone?
Evita tries to turn
Burned
around towards.
off in the explosion.
Evita tries to turn around towards Jackie. He's just still clinging to his back, and she's still always behind him.
It is worth
is it like
mentioning,
completely bald?
especially in this instance, Evander, you can feel, you know, when like you touch someone and there's like a zap, you feel this like numb zap constantly emanating from where she touches you. As
Is she like
she seems to be
Am I-
normal, but there's this faint almost incorporeality to it. Like there's this faint almost twitch of movement and faint flush of light coming from within the veins of her arm or something akin to that.
Also, you're kind of zapping.
Bzz, bzz, bzz. Oh, I'm sorry. She jumps off.
Are her
think-
eyebrows also gone?
All the hair is gone.
All her hair is gone from her body.
No more bush! Hooray!
Evander will finally do it.
Never.
Full Brazilian.
Now that she looks better and she's clean shaven, she's clean now.
Wow.
Oof.
Right.
If you had said that in character, that would have been a fucking.
Oh
So
fuck
where
no!
are you guys headed?
Home.
I want to sleep.
Yes.
I want to, but I don't think I can. She's
Also-
like,
Jackie, get back up there.
huh? Up where?
So slightly lowers his body so you can climb on his shoulders again. I'm not letting you run wild anymore.
I think I had enough.
That's it.
What?
You're getting on the timeout.
She does like a double take and is now raising an eyebrow at you.
No, you can't raise an eyebrow. You haven't got one.
Correct.
Odd.
You-
Right.
You know,
Well,
I
with
guess
that,
clearly
we'll begin
defeated.
to make
Yeah.
our way back towards the Devil's Gate. We'll go ahead and take a 10-minute break there.
10-minute break.
Well, fucking
Blah, 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 blah.
done, all of us.
Damn, Eli.
So here's a thought. A dragon turtle has a treasure hoard.
Dips.
Unsure, unclear.
Dips.
When's the next full moon? I'll ask the moon goddess where the dragon turtle I helped kill Tord is. Maybe she'll tell me. She'll tell me something.
Sorry.
Mm.
Made sure to update my nickname. No longer am I the moist daddy.
Yeah, Evandar keeps trying to be daddy right now.
He is daddy.
You make
So, with very heavily wounded and exhausted forms, you retrace your path through the city back towards the Devil's Gate. Despite the wounds, you can't help but feel a sense of pride that you turned pretty much everything on its head. It was slaying the dragon turtle, ensuring Delos could not escape, and turning the would-be assassin Horus to your cause. Nevertheless, licking the wounds of your battle, you walk through the lamplit streets as a cool ocean breeze wafts over the city. You pass by a few other travelers through the night, save guards, many of which either give you a wide berth, and some of them seem to even mutter encouragement or salute at you, the word of your deeds passing ahead of you.
Messenger boys, fill the street.
Word travels quickly, it seems. Others you pass mostly avoid you, scampering into alleys to conduct whatever business is conducted at such an hour. Eventually, almost an hour later, you come before the rundown facade above the Devil's Gate. Surprisingly, considering the hour, you hear voices coming from inside, very clear thanks on no small part to the holes in the various places of this area. You hear the first one, a feminine voice. Are you certain this is the right place? It's what I was told. We should have waited for morning. I don't like it here. Like Castile said, they come and go. I thought this would be the best time. Catch them sleeping, as it were. They might not be in the city much longer.
Opens door. Oh, hi there.
As the door creeps open, you're surprised to spy two rather out-of-place figures. Not disheveled vagrants like so many that dwell within here, nor paladins, but civilians. Reasonably well-dressed, wearing lime green and red cloth attire, respectively. You see an elvish man and human woman. The very same, in fact, that you pulled from the flames of their burning home a few days past. They each jump in faint surprise before noticing who you are. Immediately, they make their way to you toward the door, the male speaking first. Thank the gods. I'm so happy to have caught you. We'd heard this is where you were keeping residence, but I must admit I had thought you were staying in better accommodation. The man's wife immediately elbows him in the stomach. My apologies. I didn't mean anything by it.
It's not a problem. We don't really have permanent residency in Gate, so we make do with wherever we can lay our heads.
The man
the
nods earnestly.
paladins have been nice enough to let us stay with them.
We don't know about that.
It's like a
faint look
barrack.
of confusion passes across their faces before the man looks as though he's beginning to speak, but the woman cuts him off. We never got the chance to truly thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, not only us, but our children get to live, to love and dance and sing, that they may never have gotten without you. The man continues. My wife and I used to run our own business, you see, before the fires. We were builders. My love Galari was a carpenter, while I was a mason. We had many in our employ and would work for various clients to build for them. Now, well, woman Galari speaks. You helped us, so and it just so happens we're in between work at the moment. Our friend Castile told us you were at war, working out of a ruined Castle Wend, I think it was?
Aye, Castle
Castle Ren.
Rend. And it is a ruin, yes?
Not
yeah.
for much longer.
The man speaks as you say that. I'll speak plainly. We want to repay you the kindness you did us. If you give us leave to set up shop at your castle, we'll be yours. Swear fealty to your cause, repair your keep, and ensure it stays well maintained. We'll even give some of our old crew a chance to get back to work.
If I just kind of very hesitantly look at everyone else, I'm like, we didn't save you for service. We merely did it because it was the right thing to do. If this is what you want and decide on doing, we will openly accept your kind offer, but
It
there's really
wouldn't feel
no
right
need.
to leave you with nothing, and we don't have much to give. and we need the work. And the woman looks sort of pensive for a moment, cutting in. And I think the children would feel a lot safer behind walls after what
You-
happened.
You do realize, and you do know, things you say to yourself, that we are at war.
Of course, we understand. But the whole city is at war. You saw what happened to our last home.
She does have a point, Vizzy.
Aye. If you can't, I feel concerned with everyone else. If people in Baldur's Gate don't even feel safe. If
Sure,
this is
the people
if-
behind the walls feel reasonably safe, but we wouldn't that lucky.
I have no qualm with this.
I don't either.
What do the rest of you think? It'll be nice to have some more stonemasons and crafters in which to help around.
Someone hand me a piece of paper. I'll write the letter.
Just kind of pat up and down myself. Have
I,
such thing.
I'll set Jackie down, pull out a piece of parchment and an ink pen.
I just need paper.
Well, they come in a pair.
Paper,
She waves her
parchment, same
finger
thing.
at you.
They come
Sorry,
in a
but-
pair. Just do whatever you want.
Was that yes?
If this
Yeah.
is true, if this is truly what we want, we will not shy away from such honest folk.
Oh, thank you so much. We will make preparations and travel south in a few days. The elf grabs your hands one by one and shakes them vigorously. You shan't regret this. I swear it.
Before
Frankie's
we
gonna use her-
before you make any preparations, I believe we would like to know the name of the people that we are sending to Castle Range for security purposes.
Well, as I said, love is named Galari. The woman sort of nods towards all of you.
Glari.
Could you type that in chat?
Frankie's gonna write up a letter stating that we, the party, in full name or full hidden names, have given permission for this Mason couple and their crew to come work on Castle Ren. For them to show to the guards and the Gorgon, whoever they run into first.
All right, so as you're writing out the permission for them, the man introduces himself. I am Janda.
She writes it down. Turns to the wife,
She introduced herself as Galari.
Galari and Jada. Frankie, and then gives a quick description of the Gorgon and who she thinks they would run into first, so they have a kind of an idea who they're looking for.
All right. They nod several times as you explain the situation to them before thanking you profusely, begin to make their leave.
Good night.
That does kind. While I am happy to have more people joined to our cause, kind of upsetting to hear that they probably feel safer in an abandoned ruin in the cusp of war than they do within Baldur's Gate. Like they said, they weren't in the inner city, but still, kind of distressing.
Well, they were
Well-
on a small village outside of town, so makes
Yeah.
sense. And getting from one war zone to another into a place that is certainly more fortified than the village was, it makes sense.
I am exhausted.
Aye.
I think we
reckon
all are.
I reckon we should plan what to do tomorrow. But I need some rest.
I have
We
the
still have
I have the feeling
2 hours to find the money.
I have a feeling that
Hopefully
when we open that door, they wanna hear the story and drink a lot. Like,
I'll tell
lot.
them in the morning.
well, if we can talk our way out of that, okay. Start heading down.
As we're heading down Evandar real fast, through the friendship ring, you hear Frankie go, "Before you go to bed, could you stop by my room? I wanted to ask you something in private."
You're not gonna jump me again, are you?
Nobody else here. As we were walking, she like
gives
bumped
you
her
a side
elbow
eye.
into you.
Only 2 rooms you have. You're not. I'm no. I'm going
Pretty
to-
sure we don't have private rooms here.
Well, they should find a spot.
Oh.
Bully.
Descending down the flight of stairs toward the true heart of the Devil's Gate, you hear the sounds of music and revelry coming from beyond even before you get halfway down the staircase.
Knew it.
As you make your way down and cast the door open once more, as with so many other times, music immediately washes out and over you. You see dozens of paladins gathered around with a band of raucous music playing just behind them atop a table. All the paladins have formed a loose ring around 2 of their number, standing in the center, shirtless. One, a great bull of a man, human but near 7 feet in height with a huge belly and bulging muscles. A long braided beard hangs down his face, while the other is a strange avian creature, akin in many ways to an eagle, yet humanoid, his feathered form loosely clad in various scraps of cloth. You watch as the 2 clash in unarmed combat to the hoots and cheers of the gathered crowd, as at the periphery, several who do not engage simply sit at tables eating, drinking, chatting. At one in particular, you spy a young girl, perhaps 7 or 8 years of age, with dirty, short-cut red hair and even dirtier face,
Hey.
sitting on the knee of one of the paladins, eating something out of a bowl. She seems an urchin, very thin, malnourished, and she seems to be eating greedily out of the bowl. As you'll come in, those close to you turn to you. As the girl turns to you, she stands up and begins to walk over, much to the confused expression of the paladin whose knee she was sitting upon. "You the ones that know Night Noth, yeah?
Yes.
He told my
What?
boss to get this to you quick, smart, he did." She hands out a small piece of parchment.
What the fuck?
I take it.
Cheers,
How's
love.
he doing business with you?
The cavalry's here.
With a small bow and begins to make her way out of the path you came in. The paladin looks very confused.
Frankie's
Thanks,
looking at
thanks,
you very
Tracer.
confused.
Noth has some very strange contacts.
Who is that again?
He's the knight that we rescued from Saxton.
The one who
He-
saved our butt.
How do you not? How have you forgotten him so quickly?
Sir North, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No!
North,
Let's see.
Hale, I trust
Hey.
your task have. Sorry.
Hail. I trust your tasks have been met with an equal degree of success to my own. I will be
Mine.
brief. I have discovered the location of Sir Baldric. Okay. Baldric, have you got a cunning plan? Knight apparent to the former commander of the Order of the Sanguine Chains. As a knight of such rank within the Order, he may be able to lead us to more of his former companions. I will be traveling southeast to the Wolfang Woods. I hope to return with results as soon as time allows. May good fortune line your path. Goodness, he gets to work quite quickly, doesn't he?
He
I
gets
think I like
shit
him.
done.
You've done quite well with that one.
Indeed.
Why can't we
Come on.
have more people like him who just want to do stuff? Because it's for the
You
better
keep
of
in
good.
mind that he used to be our enemy. Much like most of the people that now do shit for us.
God,
And,
we're
hey,
Dragon Ball
I gave a
protagonists.
guy who stand me a healing potion tonight. What's your point?
I'm going to bed.
I'm too tired for this crap.
It's a good idea. It's a fantastic idea, and I will find a quiet place to myself because I want to do something.
All right.
I want to stealth away and not catch any eyes of people who'll be like, ah, tell a story! You killed a dragon turtle!
All right. For the, go ahead and make a stealth check if you.
Do we
14.
still pass without a straight?
No, you've been
No.
gone a while. But it seems for the most
I'm
part they're
stealthy
distracted
too.
by the ongoing.
No, you're not.
They're distracted by the ongoing fight between the two unarmed individuals, and those that do spy you either don't care to ask or haven't yet heard the news.
Okay, good.
Good.
I'm going to check on not Aldrin. I'm going to check on Edmund. Just kind of knock. Are they kept in Dallas's room?
The Edmund was staying in a completely different room.
Okay, I'm going to go to that room. I'm just going to knock on the door very
Alright.
quietly.
As you come to the room,
Before we separate, can I point out that we were asked to contact Diomtes every day.
Well, I don't have any spell slots.
The
You were told to
data
contact him.
started.
you were told to contact him every day at dusk, and that was you only got that a few hours ago after dusk.
Okay, so tomorrow, got it.
Regardless, as you begin to disperse, Lady Gelhart, you make your way to the room in which Edmund has been staying, and with a light knock on the door. At the outside, there is already standing one of the huge, heavy-set Goliaths, his steel plate glimmering in reflected candlelight. As he makes a small motion with his head looking down at you, the door opens up, and you see on the inside merely the remainder of the Goliaths. No Edmund and no Lily are inside.
Ah, so they've already gone. Good. I'll just kind of nod to everyone, give them a thumbs up.
Yes. Yes. The one at the gate, the one at the door says that, and then makes a thumbs up back at you.
Sorry, I don't speak Goliath.
I'd sneak around the corner.
If you can,
What did he say?
if we understand, it's just I believe Lilia and Edmund have taken the token and gone back to Castle Rend. We're probably going to be staying in Baldur's Gate a little bit longer. Good work, and I'm just going to leave to Aldrin's room.
Evandar, if you were nearby, you would have heard the loose translation of the boy and woman are gone.
Good. Okay.
I think it's been established that they understand common, but they don't speak it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe
Not
so.
really. They don't.
I don't know. That's what Evandar has.
They
has
don't
led to.
They have a little tiny bit of common, but it's not
Yeah.
much. They don't understand fluent common, but just can't speak it. They just don't understand common.
No, of course. Well, I just say that. Go to bed.
All right. And assuming everyone else is making their way off to bed, I think Ander wanted to do something.
Okay.
Amanda did want to do something.
So managing to find yourself a quite enough spot away from the gathered revelries of the paladins and your companions as they descend to their various activities or rooms. What would you like to do?
I would like to make a little prayer to Daddy Bahamut. Bahamut, sorry to disturb you. I know you've probably got more pressing things to worry about, but if you have any insight into what is plaguing me right now, how they are tracking me, how they are apparently inside my head, is it anything to do with these visions I've been getting? Any information? I would very much appreciate it. Please.
Make a wisdom check.
I am wise. Wisdom.
Oh no.
Hey.
You got the numbers mixed up.
You do be wise.
You feel, as you find a quiet place to lay prayer, you sort of your hand instinctively rubs against your throat and the glittering gem within, moving across the hard scale that lines some of your
Yeah.
neck. You feel it warm to the touch. You feel it only grow in warmth as you lay your hand across it. The gem begins to radiate this pale platinum light. You feel this squirming in your mind, like the back of your mind, brain itches. There's almost wriggle inside of your skull. This low, piercing whistle echoes out. You have a brief sensation of flying high above the city. And that's it.
That didn't really answer anything. Must be he must be busy. I'll go to bed.
Alright. So, and did anyone else want to do anything before bedtime?
Well,
were
Frankie wanted
we-
to talk to Evandar,
Yeah.
but
Were we able to find a quite enough space?
Well, certainly to have a private conversation.
Okay.
well, I guess as we found our spot, I don't ask you of this easy, but just she kind of composes herself. When my powers first manifested when I was little, I scared a lot of people in town when I accidentally casted magic. I got scared of myself too, I guess. I even made Ferris promise. It sounds like she starts off to say it jokingly, but looks over at you. I even made him promise if I ever got out of control to stop me. What I did out there today scared me. She looks around carefully to make sure we're alone. Evandar, I want you to make me a promise right now.
Before you
Do
keep
ever
going,
think-
I have no idea what you did. You said something about shooting fireballs. Doesn't matter. That was, well, seeing the outcome, nothing short of incredible. And within the blink of an eye. You can deal out that kind of damage. I was aware. It's just every time something happens, I get shaken to the core. I cannot protect you at all times, even if I wanted. And if I have to, I will strap you to my back. So you can have mine, and I can have yours.
It looks like she goes to say something. I'm just saying, if I ever become a danger, Evandar, you'll protect everyone, right?
Of course.
She's looking at you hard.
Of course. And I will see to it that even if you become said danger, that you will get out of it unharmed as well.
I wouldn't expect anything else from an amazing knight like yourself. Now, go get some sleep. You certainly earned it.
Didn't we all? Give her a pat on the back and then, I don't know, head to bed.
Alright.
As we're going, she's like, "Oh, do you like long or short hair?" Asking for a friend. She chuckles and looks away.
I prefer scales. But that works.
Get fucking
Oh! That was a
no fire
pure.
could burn Frankie more than that.
Ooh.
Apply ice to
Take
that
200 points of psychic damage.
wound.
But if
She starts play punching your side.
if I had to pick, I'd go for longer.
Well, that's going to be for a while. Stupid wild magic.
Your friend's gonna be delighted, isn't she? Winks!
So, making your way to rest for the evening, assuming no one else wants to do anything.
Eli have nothing left. He go sleep then.
All
Go
right.
sleepy.
Eli, go night night.
As
Go night.
Eli
Eli
dropped
and the
dead.
rest of you go night night immediately, almost as soon as you make contact with your bed or wherever you are sleeping for the evening.
A loud clap of thunder.
Merely seconds pass before you find yourself drifting into unconsciousness, the exhaustion of the day catching up. And while many of you have restful sleep and sweet dreams, Frankie, you do not.
Oh, thank God.
No.
I thought it was going to be me again. I'm like, oh, here we go again.
Frankie, once again,
Yeah.
your dreams are nightmarish, full of an incessant clicking noise that someone should stop doing. You see yourself, Frankie, suspended in place, hunched forward and bare-backed. Cruel hooks pierce your flesh up and down the flanks of your spine, holding you aloft. Following the wires up, you see they connect to the hands of a trailing, long arm. See, perched up high in the darkness like some predatory beast, cloak and hood up, a massive female humanoid form. Knees tucked up beneath the robe, strange, unnaturally long, thin arms curled low, grasping the strings like a puppet master. Her skin a grey-blue coloration with pupilless, milky white eyes ringed with red, pussy boils. Tattered lengths of oily black hair fall and spill from beneath the hood to obscure the tumultuous growths that rise from her back, decorated with branches, bones, and skulls of varying animals, giving her a hunched appearance. She smiles, a long, thin tongue slowly licks across her lips, spilling out ever more until it tangles at least a foot in length. As she pulls and yanks at the strings, you see you, your body at least, dancing a grim, stiff dance. Somewhere in the distance, a baby begins to cry.
Oh, God.
Lightning cracks overhead, and you stand now in the middle of a dense forest, the wires still protruding from your back. Clutched in the same hands as the hag who stands before you now, looking down with a thin-lipped smile at a tiny child in your arms. Sobbing quietly, the child looks up at you, its faintly glowing orange eyes looking into yours, its blue skin and short dark hair drenched in the rain, tiny horns protruding ever so slightly from its head. It reaches up at you, even as the hag's bony fingers grab it by the leg and wrench it from your hands. Lightning crashes once more, and the creature staring back at you is not the hag, not the same one at least. Its orange eyes run like melting wax, and blue skin now plays host to a swarm of crawling maggots. Its horns twisted and overlong between patches of dark hair. A claw-like hand runs over your cheek. Mother. You come to wake once more, alongside your friends. Once again, more exhausted than when you fell asleep, gaining no benefit from the long rest.
Yikes.
Oh no. She needs that.
I do. Is anybody else awake?
Everyone is stirring at the very least.
I guess anybody waking up would see Frankie not okay. She's like, I guess she would be shakily getting up. Yeah, I guess she just has a quiet panic attack in her bed.
Alright, what are you guys doing? You have come to rise in the morning.
Well, if everyone's beginning to rise, I'm just going to be refocusing some of my spells. And getting all of them back, as well as preparing to channel a commune unless anything pressing comes up. I'll probably be getting all the things prepared, but not ritual casting at this point.
All right. And everybody else?
Jackie, you look like hell.
She doesn't answer you. She's
right here, dude.
kind of sitting in the bed, cradling her head.
I'm sure the head will grow back. If not, we can have Tobor ride on your head. Perhaps that'll.
As you're saying this, she kind of looks up at you guys and she's crying. Had another nightmare.
Interesting that you've been having nightmares. I've been having vision nightmares as well. Not one last night, to be fair.
Is it the deal?
Well, I was thinking that, but
who'd you say that to?
I'm looking to Jackie.
Evander's gonna come over and just embrace her.
But Jai also made a deal with the hag, so would he not be getting nightmares as well?
As you're speculating that,
haven't
Evandar
been.
hears. I saw Evandar. I saw my baby as a hag. I saw it.
That is the deal you made. It is up to you to uphold it.
But why would the hag be trying to freak you out a bit?
Perhaps it's not. Perhaps it's mainly after experiencing such stress, your mind is lingering.
Either that,
Yes, it could be your
either that, or
nightmare
it
of your own
serves.
making.
Either that, or it serves as a reminder.
Yes, but if she wants, I see the point of it not being the hag. If it were the hag, she wouldn't do it in a way that would freak you out and make you less likely to want to go through with this deal.
I don't know, but I don't have any energy.
We have to take things one day at a time. I will. No. Gerhardt looks like Gerhardt begins to say something, but then she shuts up. We're here for you. No matter it come hell or high water, whereas we're going to. If we are plunged into pools of lava or into abyss itself, we're together in this. Together in everything.
There will always be someone there to jump after you.
She nods as I guess she staggers to her feet.
You say the word and we'll do what needs to be done. That's your decision to make. I'll not say I told you so, but you've made your decision.
Would it have been smarter to leave it on to Pina?
You've taken on an incredible burden, and you have freed a innocent young girl of something traumatic. But you have taken that trauma onto your own when you had no reason to. It's up to us in which to also hold this burden, not only you. Hold the weight of any decisions on any mistakes or any burdens as one. And I will do whatever I can to help you in this. When I can. If I can. When I
Night
You
of
mainly have to
sleep
say.
would be good.
Well, that's the one thing we do not have time for we have less than 16 hours in which to try and pay that, just thinks back, blushes. Man,
Then we best go find.
I have several
Archmage.
ideas. I have several ideas, and we have several people in which we can contact.
I think we should
First
start
off,
with the Archmage of the
I think we should
Diplomatic
first.
Union.
I think we should first start off with Diomedes, as we
Oh,
promised.
yes.
And it's probably already past dawn at this time. Then
It's
we should talk
dusk,
to the
dusk.
Archmage. Dusk, is it?
Dusk.
Yes.
Okay, never mind.
We're good.
Then forget it. Then forget. I think he should be the last on our priority then. But we should at least hold a space for him. We need to get in contact with Noff and see how he's going. And I would like to talk to Edmund and Lily at one.
I
Well.
definitely feel like it was dawn.
It was dusk.
It was dusk.
It was dusk.
I had dawn written down.
Okay.
I'll correct that.
I wish to commune.
Alright. Managing to find yourself a hideaway where you normally cast to trace out the holy symbols and whatnot.
I'm assuming we're all in Aldrin's room.
For the most part, at this point, yes.
Yeah. I just go to the little corner,
Alright.
in which I've set up the little idol and where the
Oh.
offerings have been pet.
Partaking in the now familiar ritual, you trace out the runes and speak the words until eventually they light up in the now familiar platinum light, and your connection to your deity is established. What do you want to do with it?
Ritual casting communion because I want to save out on spell slots, taking an extra 10 minutes, taking a total of 11 minutes to channel out. Ask 3 questions. I think one of them has just now taken priority.
So, what do you say to your god?
Why did you roll a d50?
That's for me to know and you to find out.
Oh no.
I know I keep asking things from you. I need to ask several things, if you'll indulge me. Can we banish this beacon from Anders' mind?
As you cast out the spell and feel the connection, once more, you feel the platinum scales on your neck glow warm, and this phantasmal, almost cone of scales radiates out from it and envelops you. Although, perturbingly, as you do, you see these faint, small, purple, black chains dangling from it in several points.
Is it the same as the Vecna vibes I got from last time?
The very same. As you summon forth and cast out the spell, asking your question, you hear the voice respond. Yes. With some difficulty.
Another question's now been put to the priority. Is Vecna trying to get a hold of your power?
Faint flicker of amusement. Vecna knows. My chosen are arrayed against him. But he has not, as of yet, made any grand maneuvers.
Let me know if he does. I'll not stand by and let him. That's my god. You know of Frankie's situation. Is there a way that I can help her in any way?
Yeah.
Three questions.
As you feel the warmth remain as the platinum phantasmal shell recedes, with an almost light caress, the warmth fades from your neck. The presence vanishes.
The back of my neck. It's the last linger of warmth leaves.
Mm.
Well, certain questions got pushed up. I wanted to know whether or not the dragon had a treasure hoard. Try again, but I'd rather not drain him if possible, and it'll take time. Well, Jai, am I going to be... Would you like to be doing any sending spells today? I would like to talk to Edmund and possibly Noth.
Only if you need me to.
I
I didn't have any plans.
think you should be the one to talk to Diomedes, as you have that professional rapport, I gather. He seems to be
Sure.
expecting it from. He seems to be expecting it from you. You seem to be the one that constantly talks to.
And what exactly was I contacting him about?
I think it's just an update. That's all he wanted.
Is that something that Diomedes requested?
I think Diomedes requested that we contact him and we keep in touch with him.
You
In which
said
he can
contact
also-
me every day at dusk because he has agents in and around Bedegar that might be able to give you information.
Hmm.
So he just said contact me every day at dusk and I'll give you whatever updates there are.
I don't have any. I don't have anything else. We need to get in contact with the Archmage of Diplomatic Union. Don't know her name.
I believe she was going to be in contact with us.
Well, then maybe I should bother. Do you reckon that dragon had a treasure hoard? Because that would be very useful to take from.
Do I know? Got
Make a
my
nature check.
questionable knowledge of.
I'll say make a nature check with advantage.
Stop it.
What the fuck?
There was a fucking program that was popping up in front of my fucking cursor.
Okay.
You are aware of such creatures, having heard the stories, especially of them being so intelligent as to negotiate passage or protection or any other one of those things for coin, usually, or jewels or treasure of that nature. So you assume that they must have a place to store all that treasure. It doesn't seem like there was anything on its body itself that would have been able to do it. So, and in keeping with what you know about dragons, yeah, you can make an educated guess that it probably has a treasure hoard out there, but you're not quite certain where it would be. Definitely out at sea, as far as you can opine.
From what I can recall about these creatures, yes, it should do. It's intelligent enough to. Where? I wouldn't even know where to begin.
I assume you of all people know how vast the sea is.
Very.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't breathe water very well.
I suppose we could just do a general. I want to locate a treasure hoard, but I don't think that would work a mile from Baldur's Gate.
I could search for golden dragons. Is there such a thing as golden dragon turtles? I doubt it.
Not unless you're very rich.
Right. I think we should get rid of the most pressing matter, and I kind of look towards Ander. With difficulty, Bahamut says that we can remove whatever it is that's lurking around in your mind.
All right, Dante. Grab it by the ankles and shake it out.
I think I was thinking of more divine manners, but there's not really a lot of difference between banishment and dispel evil and good, is there? I mean, they both can do essentially the same thing.
Frankie's been looking at you at this whole time, but you could just swear you hear static. She's just kind of got that glazed over. I didn't get enough sleep expression.
All right. Reese, if I was to use dispel evil and good,
For a second,
Do
I
I
had
have
to think.
do I have to make? Well, I was gonna say God. I was gonna say DM. I was cycling which one I should go through.
You choose neither.
If I use good, I chose neighbor. If I just choose dispel evil and good.
Mm.
I can channel at a higher level with banishment. Okay, that's.
I'm glad to have helped.
If nothing else, a good sounding board.
It says nothing about casting at a higher level, so I'm assuming I can't.
Yes, that would be. Yeah.
Okay, and for dismissal, it says I had to make a melee spell attacking a creature, and hopefully it falls under one of the categories of celestial, elemental, fae, fiend, or undead that you can reach. Do I have to reach through Anders' skull?
You want me
Or
to find out?
okay, let's give it a go.
Punch him.
What are you doing to my
Okay.
skull?
It's alright,
I
I can
will,
put it back.
I'll get my holy amulet out. Alright. Do you have any weird feeling in your head or anything for the beacon? Do you know where it might be?
Where I felt like sensations before, have I noticed any location of?
It seems to vary. Last night at least it was sort of towards the back of your head.
Well, I seem to get sensations in
Fuck's
different
sake, what the
parts.
fuck's going on?
The last time I felt something was in the back of my head.
The last
Right,
time I felt something, I was only a child.
Oh no!
Oof!
Right. If you kneel down, you're a lot taller than I am, and
That I am.
perhaps I can
Normally other ones are
do what needs to be done.
Well,
I'm
I
gonna-
trust that you. I trust that you know what you're doing, and I get down
I
on my
have.
knees.
I go around behind him. I kind of chant a couple of words to Bahamut, and then in Dwarvish, I just say, "Please let this work." And I just place my holy amulet. I'm going to place the ornate one, actually, the one I got from the treasure board.
Oh god.
Alright.
And I'm going to try a dispel evil and good with a dismissal.
I wish when I picked up another language after the changes you made, I picked up Dwarves just to hear you say, "Oh god, I hope this works." Hey,
As
wait,
you-
what?
As you focus your divine magics through the amulet and into Ander, praying that whatever's in there and whatever you're doing has the desired effect, as you do, reach your hand out and the faint platinum gold light emanating out from it begins to radiate through and into Ander, illuminating just beneath the skin. A few minutes pass. Nothing seems to happen.
Feel any better?
I don't feel any different.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
Don't know.
It didn't. These sensations didn't exactly plague me during the day.
Bahamut did say it would take some doing.
Well, we can repeat this once a day.
Maybe.
That's what.
We can try electrotherapy. Frankie's hands that.
Aye, if you want to give it a go while I channel a ascending spell.
Wait, what?
Okay, here, hold still.
Electroshock therapy. Let's see if this works. All right.
Pull away from Jackie's hand. No.
Oh, 2. Lovely.
Hey, Vizzy doesn't give me permission to zap people very often.
Well,
Alright, so
No.
who are you sending a sending spell to, Lady Gelhart?
Lilia.
Lilia.
And I'm going to say, I've already typed this out. Hi Lilia, hope you and Edmund are okay and nearly at Castle Rend. We're not sure how long we'll be. Tell Edmund we're thinking of him.
We don't know how long it is via bird.
No. That's why I said nearly there.
Alright, after a few moments pass and you focus your mind reaching out through your divine link towards Lilia, you hear her voice come back very casually with a simple, okay.
I knew I should have sent it to Edmund. Alright. Sounds like they're fine. Lilia wasn't saying, oh, Master Gold has sent the Pegasus Knights to take me and now we're...
I have been carved in half again. Help!
So that's a positive sign. She's very casual and she only responded with one fucking word.
I wish it would just genuinely pick up the next 24.
That's okay. That's good. Right. Now the Archmage. I have not typed this one out, so this might take some time.
Yay!
Hooray!
I'm sorry, this
I
is
guess as we're
boring.
as we're waiting around, Frankie would talk about her nightmare since Gerhardt's doing that, just so everybody in game knows what she saw.
Help me, mother.
Madre.
Sweet save blue skin.
You focus on typing your sending message, Joe.
Sorry.
Yeah, poor Gerhardt gets zapped through a firebolt.
Why specifically blue? Oh. Audible clicking noise.
Sorry.
Frankie elbows you again, Evandar blushing.
No reaction of Jai. Okay, that's fine.
Huh? That's his actual response. As he's still very drained.
How do you think I feel?
I nearly completely fucked up that message. I typed out with saying, "This is Galahad the Dragon's Blade." It's like, wait, no, shit! I can't
You send that, and then the rest of the message is, wait, no!
Stop! Cancel!
Undo!
Control Z!
Unsend that message.
We don't have a name that we go by, do we?
No.
No.
Do we need a stand-in?
No.
I've had this message, goddammit.
I'm trying. I began with saying this is Galahad of the Dragon's Blade, and that's wrong. I can't say that.
You don't have to introduce yourself every single time.
Correct. Then
Yeah, but she doesn't know. Whatever.
Yes, he does.
Sooner or later, I'm going to be like, alright, you have 10 seconds to come up with a message.
Okay, sure. I'm trying.
Just start talking. You don't have to type.
Is anyone else doing anything else during this time?
Right. So
No.
Alright.
I'm just letting her know that it's Vizzy that's contacting her because we haven't really been formally introduced yet. Stating that we were the ones defeated the Dragon Turtle the other day.
A few hours ago, yes.
Do we want to meet her somewhere?
I assume she has something to.
Shall I not bother then?
Ask her where she can meet us.
I do it.
Or we can meet her.
So, kind of let us know where. So let us know if and when you want to meet us.
When? How do we contact you? feel like there's discussion to be had.
Okay, I think that might be too long. Yeah, it's too long. All right. So sending a message to Archmage of Diplomatic Union, which I do not know her name, I will open up with saying, "This is Vizzy. We defeated the dragon turtle the other day. Let us know where and when you want to meet us to discuss things."
Dot dot dot.
Well, I can send 25-word message.
Alright, so as you focus your attentions out to project your conscious towards this woman, feel the connection and feel the words enter into her mind or a response forms. Your exploits have been noted. However, if you are thirsting for a reward, I shan't be the one to grant it.
What? No, we'd never.
Okay, our exploits have been noted. Shouldn't be talking to her about a reward when it comes to the dragon turtle. Shall I send anything else?
Maybe we should just go talk to the nearest guard. They might be able to point us in the right direction.
Maybe we should access the council chambers. We do have a writ in which to meander our way in there at any time.
May I suggest the third option?
Aye.
Breakfast?
Sure.
The guards said they would find us, so
Hmm.
maybe we should just start with food.
Aye.
I'd like
What do we want to
some.
do with the Goliaths? Are they going to stay here now that Lilia and Edmund are no longer here?
Should we send them ahead of us? Or just stay here and drink
Do we
to
plan
the
on
hot content?
Do we plan on returning to Castle Rend anytime soon?
I mean,
I would have
after
thought
heading
so.
back there. Yeah, I mean, after we secure any last mercenaries.
We still have to gather the gold in which to pay
Which is what
that
we
man.
are planning to do, and have to wait for the guards, apparently.
How exactly are we planning on paying him? That's a quite large sum in which we have to pay him.
My
Not a lot of
initial
time in
plan
Well, if the
is
the
to ask
dragon
the
turtle-
Master of Coin for a loan. Seems excessive, but given our exploits and the potential for us being able to repay said loan, I find that might be our most express option of getting that much coin.
so after breakfast to the council.
Yeah, we got ourselves a mortgage.
worst comes to worst, we can ask Edmund's soon-to-be mother-in-law.
Unfortunately, she won't be able to get us the coin quick enough.
We could ask for her to help in the repaying of the loan upon a later date.
Yes. That is the angle that I was thinking of. I'm glad to have heard it echoed.
Well, like Jackie said,
Breakfast it is?
brunch, breakfast, and then to the council.
Alright.
There was
Yeah.
one thing I wanted to kind of air before, like during. Grandmaster Vogel might just be under some sort of mind control, and now I guess it doesn't matter, seeing as we've got that Horace guy to deal with him. It's
Yeah,
gonna
it's a
leave
bit
a
late.
it's gonna leave a place within the already thinned Watch Council. Perhaps we'll have some sway once all this matter is done about selecting a new one.
We need to be careful that we can't let it slip that we essentially ordered this hit.
Aye. So mum's the word, eh?
Indeed.
Breakfast.
Breakfast.
Eggs and bacon. Eggs and
Fast
bacon.
break.
Green eggs and
Alright.
ham. Green eggs
So-
and ham.
After a rather quiet breakfast in the lower portion of the Devil's Gate, with paladins making their way past and out to whatever tasks they are required of for the day's efforts, as you enjoy what meal you manage to cobble together, you
Frankie
each,
gets a
as
piece of
you're
toast.
enjoying the meal, feel a slight rumble at your feet. Sort of jostles the table and several others throughout the room. This faint, persistent rumble, not overtly noticeable, but persistent and quite long. And it doesn't seem to show any signs of stopping.
Is anyone else kind of caught on to this?
Should we get out of here?
Just
Some of
in
the paladins
case.
are looking around curiously, but they don't seem overtly concerned.
Just in case. No, not smite.
Death Ward.
Divine sense. No smite. Anything of concern.
Yeah, there's a fiend right there. Oh, wait, it's Frankie. No, nothing.
Oh, that's good.
Nothing that jumps out at you, no.
Okay.
Unless there was anything else, you were making your way towards the Watch Citadel. Is that a yes?
Aye.
Sure.
Yes. Yes, it is. We are going to talk to the Watch Council.
All right. As you make your way through Baldur's Gate, the mid-morning sun rising high into the sky by this point, evidently having slept through a little bit of the morning on account of your exhaustion the night before. Nevertheless, you make your way through the winding myriad paths of Baldur's Gate, finding the streets remarkably more deserted than what you're accustomed to, more akin to what you saw last night as opposed to what you've seen in your daily exploits in the city, with the hustle and bustle of various traders, merchants, and locals alike plying their trade or simply running their errands through the town. It seems rather devoid of life. There are certainly people around, just in far fewer numbers. And the persistent rumbling beneath your feet only continues to not build, but persist as you make your way along the city. Eventually, about an hour or so later of passing through the city towards its opposite end, your feet rather complaining at the exertion of having crossed the city several times in the past 24 hours. Eventually, winding your way through the Citadel streets, you come to a rather, well, down your normal path you take towards the Watch Citadel, it seems things have been cordoned off slightly as you come to a rather wide boulevard looking down on several other streets to see several watch checkpoints have been set up. Various forces arrayed there between the council's forces, armed with their more advanced weaponry and black-clad armor, to that of the noble families, who gather in their small pickets all around, who seem to be facing inwards rather than outwards at another set of palisades and various defenses further in, surrounding a familiar manor with familiar forces arrayed around it.
Yeah, boy.
Regardless, unless you wish to do anything here, you continue towards the ever-growing Watch Citadel, the target of your search, the imposing black iron silhouette only rising higher the closer you get towards it. As you see the myriad defenses arrayed around it, you still feel the rumbling beneath your feet, if anything, only grown since coming to this side of the city. You see several guards, all clad in black, arrayed around the front end here, each on their various patrols before the large double gates. And you particularly, Elijah, jump back slightly as a dead corpse of a pigeon lands at your left leg.
Oh, not again.
Ah, birds.
Every time.
I
Every
guess
fucking time.
Frankie looks up confused.
The sun sort of glimmers in your eyes, faintly. You have to squint.
It's still rather concerning.
Does the Watch Council just hate pigeons?
Does it look like it was shot? Or did it just look like it dropped dead?
Make a medicine check.
Yeah.
It's a dead bird.
Damn.
Squashed like a pancake on the pavement.
You know, as tired as Frankie is, that probably is a good assessment.
The blunt force trauma from the fall certainly didn't help. Poor bird.
Well, Frankie walks around it. Not my problem.
All right. As you begin to approach the main gate through which you entered the previous time you made your way in here, you find it guarded by several black-clad figures who watch you idly as you approach, their helms obscuring any features beneath. Some taller, some larger, all humanoid, but hard to discern race or sex behind it. They simply watch and don't speak as you approach them, keeping their eyes on you. They seem content to wait out the awkward silence.
Should
Well,
I or...
Frankie's hella tired, so...
Okay, I'll just take a step forward. Hi. We were hoping to speak with some members of the Watch Council.
Why?
Matters of business.
You have an appointment?
No, but I kind of bring up the right.
It's more of a matter of urgency.
Aye.
I see. Well, sort of hands you back the writ. The Watch Council is not present today. They are on the other side of the Chiontha, seeing the army away.
Much walking.
Do you know when they might be back?
Later this evening, although I doubt they're willing to.
Speak with us, yeah. Oh,
They are extremely busy, and
no.
typically such arrangements are made well in advance.
I understand. Well, thank you anyway. Are you present the other day at the docks?
There's a moment's silence. I heard what happened at the dock. I wasn't there.
All right. That's to do with that. Well, we'll not keep you any longer. Turn around. Against the wall. Well, that's kind of scratching onto my ear. Well, that's a bust. What do we do now? We can't wait until this. We can't wait until this afternoon on the off chance that they don't want to talk to us. We can go find them.
It is worth mentioning that where you stand now, and after the figure's words, there begins to appear as almost a certain rhythm of the quake beneath your feet, voices carried on the wind, as the sound of tens of thousands of marching feet makes its way away from Baldur's Gate.
Oh, so that's what the rumbling is.
Right.
So we've been heading in the direction of the departing army.
Perhaps we should make our way over there. Though I don't know if we'll get a word in edgewise. Perhaps if we confront them as they're about to leave, we might have some luck. However, if not, that leaves us even less time. Do we have a backup plan? We can't contact Diomtes until dusk. We do know of other members of the Watch Council. Perhaps we should try and reach out to them.
Oh, where is it? I mean, Sanoff did mention that he discovered the location of Sepulchre.
Aye.
So perhaps we could get that location from him, or is he going to see him? You think? Oh shit!
From the sounds of what you read yesterday, he seems like he's already planning on moving out, or he has done so already. Sounds like he's has this all in hand. It'd be nice to touch base with him. But I think we have more pressing matters than trying to get the Hallowed Hand onto our course as of right now. Brigadier Thee? Maybe
They're
seek them
still
out?
in mourning. I think, was that not what Horace said?
Aye.
Due to their funeral rites, they won't
Aye.
be ready to join.
Aye.
Anyway, so we could always just contact the Master of Coin directly.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well.
I don't think a sending spell would be that wise.
Why not?
I don't know, they're quite high up elites. Who knows how
Aye,
they
but
can-
we are left with very little choice. It's either that or we allow the Hallowed Hand to go through the negotiations whilst also dropping 40,000 gold pieces worth of adamantine on him.
Correct. And given our sort of, yes, the urgency required, he may be more likely to assist us, as well as being on our side from the get-go. He has always, apparently, according to Darvides, always been in support of our claim.
We can contact Diomtes now instead of later. Or
Do you
both.
think yeah.
There's no reason why we can't contact him before dusk.
Correct. It's curious enough. I would like to see his reaction to our request.
I have enough to send a message to the Master of Coin. Perhaps, seeing as we've got nothing better to do, we should make our way back to Master Gold's estate and see if he's caved in yet.
It's possible. At least, well, we haven't had any conversation from the Blackfriars, but it doesn't hurt to ask.
Hmm.
Perhaps our meeting. Maybe we shouldn't directly contact. Well, we should directly contact Master of Coin, but not ask for what we're looking for. I think it's something we should ask for a hasty meeting as soon as he returns to the Watch Council's chambers.
And seeing as
Yes.
they only have a certain amount of time, maybe we should say we only require 10 minutes of your time or something along that line.
Correct. It's going to be rather quick. Either he says yes or he says no, and if he says no, we better be working on contingency.
Maybe contacting the Lord of Dogs would also be beneficial since he's directly affected from what we did there.
I believe that position was left open after the unfortunate fate of the last one.
Yep.
Didn't they say they wanted to fill those spots as soon as possible?
Aye, but that was not some time ago. Does anyone want to go? Anyone fancy a treasure hunt? Try and find that dragon turtle's hoard.
Actually, yes.
Because that seems to be the only other option in which we can immediately pay off the thing if we get lucky.
Well, we know the direction it came from, so perhaps we can work from there.
What a vague direction that is.
Well,
Towards
if
the
you're
open
worried about
sea.
getting them, if you're worried about getting them all the money at the exact time they asked for it, keep in mind that Castle Rend is 3 days away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we have a quick travel there.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you would be able to get the money back to Baldur's Gate
Yeah.
in 20 hours.
No.
Well, that's it.
We have to come up with some sum to give him immediately.
I think we first. I think when it comes to the order of operations for the discussion with Master of Coin, we can already return half the sum. It's 3 days away.
I have a very drastic fourth option.
I guess.
Do you still have the deck?
oh Jesus Christ!
You wanna
Now,
use it
hear
or
me
give
out.
it to him?
Hear me out. We could try and draw from it. See what happens. I don't know what entails in it, or we can offer it to him. Unless we had any plans on doing anything with it. It's just been sitting there. Maybe offering up a legendary magical item. Sorry, I don't know that. Perhaps offering a powerful magical item that was guided by Sphinx themselves might give us a little bit more wiggle room.
Do you believe he knows what it is?
I don't even know what it is.
If he does know, do you think it's worth that amount of money?
It's an option I wanted to put on the table. If we're not going to use it, we shouldn't keep hold of it.
I mean,
Or-
okay, I'm going to speak out of character here. I mean, do any of us actually know anything about the Deck of Many Things?
Yeah, the
in
one
character.
person that died.
Has heard of
Many
it.
terrible things, yes.
We
Have we
know
heard-
that we know that the deck. We know that someone that found the deck, they drew the card, and they went into a coma. And we know that Torin, when he drew from the deck, a
You got a nice dagger.
magical dagger, came out of thin air. So we know that it has good and bad things that can happen once you draw from it
Okay.
in character.
How about the Deck of Many Things is our nuclear option? Like,
Aye.
we don't have any other options. We just take our chances.
That's what I always thought of it as. I thought if Frankie ever got cornered, she'd just pull it out like a hand grenade.
Well, that's the nuclear option. Just putting it out there.
And I suppose I can't say nuclear option because there's no such thing as nukes.
The fuck is a nuke?
I am.
That's
the
that's
nuke.
that's the abyssal option.
Much.
Much better.
That's the 9 hells option.
I'm
Well,
the
10th
nine.
hell
Abyssal
option.
had
That's the mother option.
Ovo.
Oh whoa, hey.
That's the Tarrasque option.
That's the Tarrasque option. That's better. That's the Tarrasque option.
What's the Tarrasque?
That's the Tiamat option.
This is the plane shift option.
Okay.
If worst comes to worst, we'll just go to another plane of existence. Fuck it.
Let's go to plane of money.
Plane of
We go
money.
to Bitopia. It's
So
infinite, so it
let's-
can never
let's-
be destroyed.
Let's go. Let's walk to Master Gold's estate. See if they've had any feedback, and decide from there.
Okay.
Agreed.
Gives Eli some time to think of what they're going to send, if they're going to send it.
Oh.
Send it.
Fucking send it, bro. Oh god, fuck.
Oh fuck! Oh,
Stop
Beans,
destroying
no.
everything.
Oh,
All right. So,
You carry-
retracing your steps through the Citadel streets towards Master
Yes.
Gold Estate doesn't take overly long. However, you do find yourselves rather resisted at the watch barricade set up around that of the Blackfires.
the name of the person that you gave the name to.
Pardon, sorry. Avora.
Avora. Alright. Do we? I mean, I don't know I don't think I know what she looks like.
Very similar to the rest of them. They all look very scary, but sexy at the same time.
That's great.
Do I spot Evora from our current point of space and time?
Make a perception check.
Guidance.
My elf eyes see lots, apparently.
Everything.
34.
You see it all.
I see everything.
Well, you were certainly going to need about that to succeed. So good on you.
About that. About a 34.
Out of 34. You find yourself stymied at the watch barricades. Something about the Blackfires acting without permission of the council and their claims currently being investigated. So they don't. You get
Well, the council's
impression
not
that
here,
the-
so that's fine.
The watch doesn't particularly want you going in, but is not actively turning you away either.
Right. So we get past the watch, and then there's a distant Blackfriars, yeah. And wait, did I see Evora or not?
Yes, you actually
Oh, yeah.
see at the far end, past these barricades that you're currently at, you see one of the figures, as most of them wear no helm, has a very striking similarity to the very same woman you spoke to, seemingly directing several squads to certain points in and around the area. She's around 100 or so feet away.
Right. Well, I guess I've managed to find her. She's redeploying some squads, but we have to get past the barricade first, which I assume shouldn't be an issue. One would hope.
Will that let us
That'd be
pass
fine.
if we were like we would just want to speak to that one because we made them do this? Do we want to say something of the like or give away our position here?
So we're at the. Forgive me.
Yeah, we're at the gate.
We're at the barricade, and there is guardsmen in front of us.
Yes.
There are two barricades, one of the Blackfriars and one of the Watch, and we're at the Watch's barricade.
Gotcha. Sorry. Excuse me, guardsman. As to whichever's closest to me.
It is a rather small, broad individual, around 4 feet in height, that sort of waddles towards you with long,
Dwarves.
blonde brown beard coming down to around his waist height. He
Nice.
ambles forward. He wears a small, sort of almost flat-capped helm. Looks up at you with bleary eyes. Yeah.
What is the meaning of the guardsman's barricade?
Well, on the other side of our barricade, there's those black fire ladies. That's real scary. Don't want to deal with them very much. Basically, as far as I know, I'm not the one in charge, but they're doing something over there. They're keeping watch of one of their rich sort's homes, and we're not sure why. We're not sure they're doing it for proper reasons, so it's being investigated. Until the truth, one way or the other, is figured out, we stay here, make sure no one goes anywhere.
Right. Then who is investigating?
Shrugs.
God damn it.
Do you have a commanding officer? Well, of course you do. Where's your commanding officer?
Can I speak to your manager?
Karen, no!
Rolls his eyes. All right.
Sure.
I am the
What?
commanding officer. You son of a bitch! I swear to God.
I am the manager.
does the fucking 360 on the spot? Takes his
You're
cap
not. You're not a public servant.
Can I
That's
help
all my
ya?
orders.
Is Watch Captain Decian is the one in charge. Yeah.
Oh no.
And where could I find him?
How desperately do you need to see?
Well, I'd like to find out from him who's investigating. So,
All right, wait
rather
here.
soon.
Who are you?
I'm Jai. We carry writs of passage from the council and recent executors of dragon turtles.
Oh, that was you. I heard about that. Good
Yeah.
job, if it's true.
It's true.
I will bite my tongue.
I'll have a look. Turns and begins to waddle his way away. During a few minutes of wait, as the dwarf makes his way up to the rest of his companions, has a brief conversation, and then one of them makes their way off to a different barricade. Eventually,
Should have found
returns
one
to
with
you.
longer legs.
Eventually, a human man, in perhaps his mid to late 50s, slight of frame and of middling height, his years apparently getting the better of him as muscle and fat fades away to make way for rather gaunt features. He wears light gambeson and chainmail armor in the symbol of the Watch, more specifically that of the Watch Council, sporting the black that many of his contemporaries do not in this area, at least. Many of these ones seem to be nobles, or what few dregs, at least by the look of them, could be cobbled together from what didn't go with the main army north. Seems that, for the most part, these are far fresher than ones you've been accustomed to seeing. Regardless, he makes his way up to, sort of staring for the briefest moment out on one side before approaching. This is a matter of state business. Why do you disturb us?
I am looking to get to the bottom of who's investigating this so that I may provide them with information.
I take it you mean who is investigating the Blackfires and their supposed claims of treason.
Correct.
And might I ask who is asking? He holds out a
My-
hand.
Name is Jai. Myself and my companions here carry writs of passage as well as the gate-bound cross. You may
I
have
guess we
also
show them
heard of
off.
a dragon turtle that was dead in the docks. Also our doing.
I can appreciate individuals who get things done. You must know, agents of the Lady of Whispers are investigating. Supposedly, there are infernomancers as well.
Right. And do you have a contact?
Myself? No. I'm merely doing what I am bid until such a time comes that I am no longer bid to do it.
Over the headphones, you hear, maybe we should just go looking for the council member themselves then.
What is it exactly that you want here?
Well, I'd like to clear up the mess as well as actually get past your barricade to speak to the other barricade.
For what reason?
To find out what they know.
As far as we've been given to understand, they acquired a number of letters from inside the estate. This was after our initial interrogation of them, as they didn't have any evidence at the time. Supposedly, they sent in a small unit to acquire such evidence. That evidence is now being put through scrutiny to ensure its validity.
I see. I now suppose you won't be letting us through your barricade.
Not unless I get orders to.
Right.
Was that not a sufficient answer for your queries?
Oh, it is, but I'll just have to reach out and get those orders lined up for you.
Good luck. Was there anything else?
No, but I wouldn't wander too far. Thank you.
Nods. Turns without a word. Makes his way back towards the barricade.
Sort of make my way a bit further away from the barricade.
Mm.
Hopefully everyone in tow.
We're already out of options.
I suppose we contact Darmides if the Infernomancers are in play. If not,
Rather than contact him, maybe we should contact Aurora herself, see if there's any stance that Master God has taken.
I would like to clean up the guard problem first. I guess 2 layers of protection isn't too bad, but not when one's facing off the other. It means not all of our assets are pointed in the right direction.
Aye. Well, it's your call.
I was going to list off a few words for the Master of Coin, but if you'd rather me contact Darmides.
I can contact them if you'd like, but I'm running low as of right now.
That's alright. Let me quickly whip up a message.
With the one with the Master of Coin, we only want maybe 10 minutes time when he find as soon as possible. And with, well, I don't know what you plan on speaking with Darmides about. But, between you, it's getting our options are becoming increasingly limited. What else? How else?
Right, hang on. So, do you know, first of all, I will I'll send 2 sending spells.
Into that.
First to the Master of Coin. Master of Coin, I request an urgent meeting with you when you return from seeing the army off. It is of great importance.
Alright. So, as you focus out, are you writing the next one, or I'll wait till you finish writing the next one, and then we can go through.
I wasn't sure if you needed time to think.
No, it's fine.
Reese needs no time to think. He knows everything.
What is time? Or thinking?
Time is irrelevant.
I mean, we
Time
only
is
have
a
to
construct of human perception.
we only have to think of this in 5 years, anyways. Or did we already think about it 5 years
And
ago?
then to Diomedes. Diomedes, the guard have set up posts around Master Gold's estate. We are responsible for the Blackfriars barricade. Master Gold is associated with Saxton.
Right, we will do the first one first and the second one second.
Cool.
So the first one is you contact and reach out towards the Master of Gold. Only glanced briefly in your small interaction with him personally during your trial before the council. You reach out, you hear his voice return. My, how uncouth. I struggle to see why your handler proved ineffective to attain such a meeting. My people will talk to your people.
Boy.
Cool. Note to self: don't contact Watch Council personally.
See, I told you they're very sensitive.
Yeah, but this is really urgent.
In regards to the second message,
Next time we don't
You
kill the
reach
turtle.
as you reach out towards Diomedes, you find it's not impossible to reach, but it feels more difficult. You have to focus more earnestly. There's something in the way. You manage to breach it all the same. It's almost this mental block. The voice comes back somewhat distorted. I'd heard your forces are not in jeopardy if that's what concerns you. Their claim is being investigated and will be acted upon accordingly.
Cool.
What do they say?
The Master of Coin was rather unimpressed of our direct contact and failed to see why our handler couldn't arrange this for us. Diomedes is our handler, correct?
I believe so, aye.
Well, I'll finish Master of Coin. His people will contact our people. Secondly,
give it time.
Diomedes. I hope he understands the urgency. I did mention it. Secondly, Diomedes seemed a little harder to catch. I did catch him nonetheless, but he seems occupied. Anyway, his response towards the guard is that their claim is being investigated, and, well, that is that.
Alright. So, bar of direct contact with her, we can't really do much more situation, can we?
Correct.
From the sounds of it, we need to make ourselves available for the rest of the day, which means either we sit around and wait for Master Gold to get in contact with Diomedes, and then Diomedes get in contact with both of us, all of us.
It is a rather odd purgatory.
The Tarrasque option is still there.
I think that may be extreme at this point. We still have many hours.
Extreme times come for extreme measures, but perhaps if it gets close to the time, then we have little choice. We should seriously consider it.
I'm sleep
I
deprived
want-
enough to try it.
I want to make my way back to the docks, seeing as we have back to back to where we slew the dragon turtle.
Okay. In what then is everybody else going along with this, or are they doing other things?
Frankie's walking along, yeah.
I'll go with them.
All right. In what proves to be old hat news by this point,
Yeah.
you are once again directed away by members of the military, who
Has too many of them.
explain rather shortly that the area has been cordoned off for now while the Archmajor Diplomatic Union conducts her research.
Right. No matter. I just wanted to get as close to the harbor as I possibly could.
You're not far
wait,
off. There's not a huge
not
amount
far
of
off.
guard
Not
here,
a huge amount.
but they're just
Okay.
making sure the streets are clear.
This is probably going to be a mute point, but I would like to cast a second level spell.
Fireball.
That's a
That's
third
a
level.
spell. It doesn't say anything. I am going to cast second level spell, locate object. I can't describe. It has to describe a name of the object. I can't just say treasure hoard, can I?
I will. Spoiler alert: the treasure hoard is not within 1,000 feet of you.
Okay.
Big shocker.
No, that's I big shocker. I just wanted to know. Okay.
I would like to try and locate the tracks of the dragon turtles, just see if there's any signs of which direction it came from.
Okay. You rapidly find that the dragon turtle appeared to have swam.
Well, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I obviously get that. But excuse me, it's a giant fucking turtle.
Yeah.
You
So there
do
might be
find
signs of it.
you do, as you're making your way up and along the river, you do see the massive dust cloud of the army in the distance, drifting ever further away, and several pavilions and various tents set up all along that area, filled with cheering crowds, and as this massive dust cloud obscures the army beyond, marching its way north. You find remnants of its passage through the Chionta River, specifically displaced riverbed, or simply boats, bits of wood, and that sort of thing. But out to sea, the trail goes dark.
God damn it.
So you're saying it didn't walk across the crown of the sea? Got
I
it.
mean, you can't see the bottom of the sea where you are, Anders, so unless you can go diving and then see if you can see it. But
Jai, go check it out. No? Okay. Sorry.
Get picked up by the guard. Illegal swimming. Was there? This is a big party. They have a temple. Was it Ogmar here? A wellspring of knowledge, perhaps.
Aye.
We just have a lot of unanswered questions. At least I know I do. Things that perhaps books and knowledge may be able to reveal. Like, is there more research on dragon turtles, perhaps? Or hearsay or tale?
Does the Dolphin Prince not talk to you about that sort of stuff?
I suppose I could ask him, but
One might think that the Dolphin Prince of all people would know roughly where the dragon turtle in his domain moves about.
Well, if
you
it's
say
the
that as if
circle
a
of
dragon
fate is
turtle is a single entity. Does Bahamut know where every dragon is?
Maybe?
but
Bahamut is but the god of the dragons, yet mine is a god of an entire ocean.
No, you got a point. Okay. There's just,
Surely coming together would be able to find like some common ground, eh?
To the library.
Yeah. By our powers combined, dragon turtle.
Quick, draw a card.
Nuclear Tarrasque option.
Tarrasque option. But no,
No one do anything.
as well as the fact that Ander does have that thing that we're not entirely sure about. We at least... Do we have any idea what it is? Where it came from?
From what Horace?
Not entirely sure myself.
Ander, do you remember when this started?
When did it start?
If I recall, you first talked about
no.
having nightmares after we fought the
It might not be reference to the night. It might have been there before. It could be something that you know who planted and when you first agreed to his deal.
in 5 years.
Certainly didn't have any night. I certainly didn't have any of these visions before we went back in time.
Not from what we don't know anything about all this thing. It might not be related to the visions at all. It could be something that's been with us for some time that is now only just paying dividends now. It could also be that whatever that thing was when we tried to recruit the last Crusaders also planted something in your mind.
That's what I was hinting at. That's when you started talking about these nightmares, was it not?
When did it? When? Sorry, when?
After our infight for the Crusaders.
You know, where we all
That's
we
right.
all hit
Yes.
each other up, and then we all rested, and during the rest you were attacked by some sort of brain thing.
But I was having visions before that.
Then it might be even
Were
before
you?
that, we don't know.
Yes.
I think this is the first time you've been talking about these visions.
I didn't really discuss them before.
They might not be related to visions at all. We have
Perhaps.
no possible way of knowing. All we know is that right now you have something in your mind.
Bye,
Yes.
Classy.
Okay?
So, from what I can process, you were having nightmares before our fight with.
I wouldn't necessarily say they were nightmares. They were just
Vision.
visions initially.
But they didn't start getting very intense until after you were attacked by that creature.
Yes.
So, my conclusion is that somehow they're connected.
It's quite possible.
I just don't know what that thing was. I can describe it, but I don't know to who. Perhaps that's the start. Maybe that's the lead to working out what the fuck is in your head.
And I take it whatever this thing is, it got away.
It did. Which doesn't sit well, knowing that it could be anywhere. Yes, that is at least my suspicion.
From the sounds and the looks of it, we don't really have a lot of options. So rather than worrying about some things, maybe we should simply wait. Even if we found this dragon's treasure, there's no way that we could probably get all of it back here in time. We don't know where it is. And in the interest of not going around in circles, maybe waiting is the best idea.
And before we do nothing and wait, we might as well head to the Temple of Ogmar or to the library and see what kind of information we can get.
Yes,
Will that
very
be-
true.
Will that be in the Ring of Faith?
No.
Yes.
I don't think so.
It wasn't there. It wasn't there before. We had access to it before the Ring of Faith, didn't we?
Yes.
So it's not one of the ones of
It
the
is not
rings.
in the Ring of Faith, no.
No, of course.
Not powerful enough to be a fucking doorkeeper. He's a book nerd.
I do have a last ditch effort, which is definitely a poor misuse of my power, but
Go for it.
Saturn for hire.
I I imagine it's something to do with being the spark, right?
No.
No,
Oh,
it's-
actually, yeah. That,
Donate money to the Spark.
I mean, I was going to do I was going to do divine intervention. Bahamut, please give me a down payment on my allowance. But no, the spark might be actually a better one, but I don't know how Galehart would think about it. I don't think I should do that.
No, it's very much out of character.
Very much out of character.
No, she would go for a divine intervention though.
I think both of them are very much out of character.
Just
Drinking
scroll
contests
down.
are one thing, but this,
Oddly
nah.
fluid.
I'm just getting in. I'm just getting
Thank you.
itchy. I'm just getting itchy drawing fingers. You know, just getting the itch.
I know what you mean.
Draw something.
At least he can't fucking vanish his soul to another dimension.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
It could be two. There could be two of them.
Oh. Magical Nazis.
Magical Nazi vampires.
Yes.
It's exactly what we needed.
Oh shit, it's Saxon.
Saxon's a Jewish Nazi, and I know it.
Nazi zombie vampires.
Hold
Anyway.
up.
You know, it's gonna be a real hard conversation to have
What?
if we all figure out there's only one way to stop Frankie's nightmares.
All right.
Killer.
So, are you drawing anything from the deck?
One nightmare at a
I
time.
think.
No, I don't think so,
think
no.
There's anything. No,
You're
we're
making
going-
your way to
we're
the you're making your way to the Temple of Ogma.
Yes.
going- Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
In
we're
the
gonna
interest
call
of-
we're gonna call it there because everyone seems 75% out by this point. So
That
Yeah,
is-
I-
that is
let's
fair.
not continue
I
the
didn't-
charade
I
any
didn't-
longer.
Yeah, I didn't want to continue around because we don't really know what to do now.
Yeah, we're like,
I'm
We're in this
sorry. I used
situation of-
100% of my power on against the dragon turtle.
that's fair. It was more so, yeah, I think it was.
But you also didn't get a rest.
We wait for a response.
Yeah.
And
I
if-
didn't even get it. Frankie didn't
But
even
if we
get
go
a
to the
rest.
Temple of Ogma,
Yeah,
that gives
exactly.
us a chance to do-
I think this will give us some time to plan in the planning ahead and not go all the way around.
I'm just trying to
Frankie's
make
gonna-
planning ahead plot relevant.
And we don't waste
Frankie's
everyone's
gonna
time.
read-
In the
Especially
library. We're in the
Reese's.
library. We're just contemplating things. Planning ahead is actually happening.
You know, it's super relatable. Frankie's gonna look up at the library how to get a good night's sleep.
Oh no.
Mood.
Jackie's out here like how to hair growth elixir.
Like I'm long or short.
I don't even think. No.
Thank you very
here's-
much,
here's-
Reese. Sorry for
Sorry.
hamming the last 15 half an hour.
Yeah, sorry for
It's
dragging
all
that.
We
good.
literally have no idea how to go from here.
What Frankie really wanted to
We're
ask
good.
Evandar.
I very much busted my fucking nut when we killed the goddamn dragon tail.
Yeah, that was the high point.
That was
Pretty
an
good.
amazing fight. Yeah.